Test 1. Good evening and welcome to South Central League Baseball from Cadwell Park in Mitchell on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube. I'm Michael Schumacher and we have one South Central League team standing. That is the Tabor Bluebirds, and they are taking on the Clark Traders tonight. Tabor will be the home team. They are in their white pants with their navy blue, dark blue jerseys. White letters with that light blue trim, and then the sleeves, that old 1-2-3 Jello, if you remember that stuff, that grades up. So they're classic home uniforms. And then the Clark Traders in gray pants with red jerseys and those navy blue letters and numbers and white trim. It's going to be a beautiful night for baseball, especially in the press box where we get a little bit of air conditioning. I see Chris Sutera out there handing out the starting lineups. We do have starting lineups up here, and so we're going to get to that here in a moment. But first, we want to thank all of our sponsors. This is the Hanson Briggs pregame show. Hanson Briggs of Yankton, your local source for all printing and promotional needs. Of course, Who's on Deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding of Tyndall. Chris Hay Grinding, they started that sponsorship last year. Our national anthem, brought to you by Joe LaBarge and America's Best Realty. Joe LaBarge and America's Best Realty in honor of South Dakota Special Olympics. So excited for that. Of course, always love to talk about our veterans at the time of the national anthem. Including my daughter, Leela, who serves in the National Guard down in North Carolina, but she is coming back this weekend, so excited to see her. And so that's a big thing for us. And then, of course, our mound visits and pitching changes brought to you by Mama J's Bar and Cafe. Mama J's Bar and Cafe in Irene, sponsor of mound visits and pitching changes. And of course, our scoreboard brought to you by Grassland Heating and Cooling. If it heats or cools and you have a problem with it, give Grassland Heating and Cooling a call. All right, well, we are getting into this, and of course, we want to thank our sponsors. You'll see their ads, you'll see their name scrolling across the top, but let's just give them all a shout out while we're here. Downtown Auto Service, Midwest Insurance Agency, Elkhorn Valley Bank, Lakeview Golf Course, Joe's Substation, Central Farmers Cooperative, The Corner Nugget, Menno State Bank, High Street Insurance and Financial Services, Greg Davis Excavation, Tabor Lumber Co-op, Byerly Insurance, The Keg, TLC Propane, Sioux International, Merchant State Bank, Parker Hannafin, The Beer Garden in Menno, Larson Carpet, Rural Manufacturing, Hoots Bar and Grill, Hoots Bar in Freeman, Jones Feed and Grain Trucking, Core Trust Bank, Renewable Ag Products, and Why Not Oil. We want to thank all of them for joining us this season, especially the ones that were with us all year. Want to thank them. And so, as we always say, obviously we can't make you buy from them. You know what, that'd be downright un-American if I could. Nobody wants me to have that kind of power. But what I can recommend is if you could give them the opportunity to compete, just give them that chance. Whether it's price, selection, service, or the fact that they support your local athletics, whether it's amateur baseball, high school athletics, whatever it might be, just give them a chance to compete. And if it doesn't work out, that's fine, but all that chance to compete is all they can ask for. So again, want to thank those sponsors for joining us this season. And again, the Tabor Bluebirds getting ready to do battle with the Clark Traders. So we're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we will have starting lineups for both teams, as this should be a great matchup. Now, the winner will end up playing on Friday. So if Tabor wins, we'll be back here on Friday. If not, that will be the end of our season. So we will come back and we'll discuss all of that and more. This is not breakfast with the coaches, not at the mic. This is South Central League Baseball from Cadwell Park in Mitchell, where we are bringing you all of the South Central League games from the South Dakota Class B Amateur Baseball Tournament. We'll be back right after these messages.
Want your party to be a hoot? Then have it at Hoots Bar in Freeman, where they are always looking for a great group to party with. The staff at Hoots says stop in and try the selection of beers on tap or use the easy drive-up window for off-sale. But the Hoots team would rather see you join them inside. Hoots Bar in Freeman offers darts, lottery, and golf. You can also relax with your cocktail in the outdoor beer garden. Hungry? Order up a delicious Hoots Bar Pizza. Fun, friendly, helpful staff is waiting for you at Hoots Bar in Freeman. See you at Hoots.
Jones Feed and Grain Trucking in Wynot, Nebraska is looking for you if you have a CDL. This is a full-time opening for a semi-truck driver to run tanker trailer, hauling liquid feed and fertilizer. Also a hopper trailer hauling feed and grain. This position is within the regional area and home most evenings. A part-time position is also available running quad-axle straight truck, hauling liquid feed within the region and home every evening. Interested? Call Jones Feed and Grain Trucking, 402-357-2633.
Rewarding you for doing everyday things, like buying gas, shopping, and dining local. Does your bank do that? If you're a Core Trust customer, your bank does that. When you open a premium or preferred checking account and meet requirements, you get access to Core Trust perks powered by Bazing, an exclusive network offering 300,000 plus deals and discounts on dining, shopping, travel, fuel, and more. Visit us online, in person, or by phone. Terms and conditions apply. Member FDIC.
At Renewable Ag Products, their business is based on customer relationships and customer service. They coordinate distiller supplies to provide area livestock producers with their commodity needs by working closely with multiple ethanol and processing plants within their region. Their office trades a core group of feed ingredients that include modified distillers, wet distillers, dry distillers, grain, corn syrup, soybean meal, soy hull pellets, corn gluten feed, and corn screening. Call Renewable Ag Products and talk with Henry or Frank. They do their best to make your purchasing decisions easy.
Give Wynot Oil a call for your fuel, tire, and oil needs. They deliver treated farm and road diesel along with unleaded and super unleaded gasoline to both tanks. They offer gravity flow bulk oil, DEF systems, and can assist you with all your tire needs from small lawn tires to large ag tires. Wynot Oil Company offers hydraulic hose repairs, automotive service, and more. Stop in for fuel at the pump or a cold drink from the small convenience store. Wynot Oil Company, Wynot, Nebraska.
If your car can't get you all the way home or just needs regular maintenance, call Downtown Auto Service in Crofton with a commitment to providing you with honest quality service with reasonable prices. With the technology and expertise Downtown Auto Service in Crofton provides, your car will have the best care imaginable. When it comes to your vehicle, you want the best, and Downtown Auto Service in Crofton is not only the best downtown, it's the best all around. That's Downtown Auto Service in Crofton.
Midwest Insurance Agency values family. Our agency has been family-run for over 60 years. We pride ourselves on excellent, knowledgeable customer service. This day and age, everyone is so eager to have an immediate response with a quote. But at Midwest Insurance, we take our time and evaluate your assets and make sure you are properly insured. We take those what-ifs very seriously. As we continue on our family business with hopes of our children, Brooke or Jet, taking over in the future, we will continue to be there for you always. Come be a part of our family. Midwest Insurance Agency, 3016 Piper Street, Yankton.
Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust understands what it takes to be a part of the community. It's not just about transactions, it's about relationships. Whether you're buying your first home, growing your business, or planning for the future, their team is here to help every step of the way. Elkhorn Valley Bank uses local decision-making, personalized service, and modern banking tools like online banking and a teller on demand to make managing money simple and convenient. Helping you reach your financial goals, Elkhorn Valley Bank. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball on Fox Sports Radio and 101.5 FM, 1570 AM. We're broadcasting from Cadwell Park in Mitchell, South Dakota. Beautiful setting. It's a beautiful evening as the field looks great as we are getting ready to bring you the Clark Traders taking on our Tabor Bluebirds. Tabor is the final South Central League team standing, so let's take a look at these starting lineups. Let's look first at the Clark Traders. Now, one unique thing about the Traders tonight, they are starting 3 Legion players. Now, I'm not sure what exactly that means, what you can take away from that, but just a little food for thought. And leading off is a Legion player in Cooper Palmer. He batted .448. He'll be playing left field. Batting second, Zach Tobin, and playing second, and he batted .314 on the year. Batting third and catching, Legion player Jacob Steen batted .468. Batting cleanup and playing right field, pickup player from Millbank, number 3, Merrick Junker, who batted .425 on the year. Batting fifth and playing center field, number 21, Grayson Flory. Flory batted .270 on the season. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 24, Andrew Magadans, batted .310 on the season. Batting seventh and playing first base, batted .237 on the year, number 25, Brent Griffith. Batting eighth and pitching tonight, it is number 9, Hudson Fuller. Hudson batted .400 on the year. And batting ninth and playing shortstop, it is a Legion player who batted .338, Watson Grantham. Now, Hudson Fuller on the season, his record was 1-4. The Clark Traders went 4-8 during the regular season. They're 7-8 as of now. 7-8-1. That tie, I'm not quite sure. I didn't have a chance to look into what the tie was. It was against Elkton. So, 7-8-1. Hudson Fuller on the season went 1-4. All right, now let's take a look at that Tabor Bluebirds lineup. Leading off, pitching and designated hitter, Riley Rothschadel. Rothschadel on the season batted .477. Batting second and playing right field, elevated in the lineup in the batting order this game. Number 5 from Menno, one of the Menno Mad Frogs, Dylan Lair, who batted .416 during the regular season. Batting third and playing first base, number 23, Hunter Halleck. And Hunter Halleck on the season, well, he batted .380. Batting cleanup and playing center field, number 20, High School Baseball Hall of Famer Chase Corton. Chase Corton batted .306 on the year. Batting fifth and playing third base, the pitching prowess from last time, number 16, Josiah Peterson. We'll have Josiah on at the mic tomorrow morning. That's during the 7 o'clock hour. Josiah getting ready to head back to Augustana. He's from Foley, Minnesota. Not Nick Foley, but Foley, Minnesota. And so just around the St. Cloud area. He's playing third base, and on the season, Peterson batted .375. Batting sixth and catching, number 7, Joey Slama. Slama batted .370 on the year and got hitched during this summer. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, number 24, Matt Brown. Brown on the season batted .326. Batting eighth and playing left field, number 17, Nolan Sarda. Sarda batted .609 on the year. And batting ninth and playing second base, number 4, Landon Schmidt. Schmidt batted .315 for the season. And Tabor has their full complement of players, including pickup player from Irene, Dustin Livingston. You also have Easton Mutter and so many others. So it's going to be a fun evening. You know, a lot of the conversations around who was going to start, because that's one of the things this team has is pitching. And so Riley Rothschadel making the start, but don't be surprised if somebody makes a relief appearance. Jace Topol, number 26, he's an excellent pitcher. Matt Brown might come back in. Bryce Shazinski is a great pitcher. Dustin Livingston can give you innings. He was a great pitcher. I saw him pitch for Irene against Crofton in the district tournament. Did a wonderful job. So Dustin Livingston, do not be surprised. No, was he against Crofton? Yeah. And so Dustin Livingston, a great pitcher as well. So just an abundance of riches for this Tabor team when it comes to pitching. Not that their offense is anything too shabby. Their defense is great, so we'll see if they're able to compete against the Clark Traders. And again, if they win, Tabor will play on Friday. Tabor will play the winner of the Hartford-Humboldt Gamecocks and the Del Rapids Mudcats. That game would be at 5:30, but we'll know at the end of tonight if that game comes to fruition. So that's a look at your starting lineup right now. For the Tabor Bluebirds, again, I meant to tell you the entire bench for the Bluebirds. So we went through the starting lineup, but you also have Easton Mutter, Dean Call, Bryce Shazinski, Zach Chuka, Jeff Honor, Jace Topol, Landon Barish, Rhett Connors, and Dustin Livingston. And from the Legion, you have Major Arstad and Cooper Mutter. So a good contingent of Tabor players out there for the Bluebirds. And so see if they need to tap into any of that. Otherwise, I know they'd probably love to have a short game. They'd love to get that offense out there, see if Riley can pitch his magic and maybe even try to get a shortened game. But the win is the key. So we'll talk more about that. We'll talk more about this matchup when we come back. But this is South Central League Baseball at the South Dakota Class B Amateur Baseball Tournament from Cadwell Park in Mitchell on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube. And in case you haven't been here before, this is an audio-only broadcast strictly because there is a contract and it's a funding mechanism for the tournament. So we're not able to, that contract grants them exclusivity, so we're not able to stream video, but I will try to paint as pretty a picture as possible. All right, when we come back, we'll be talking more about this game and the tournament on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube. We'll be back with more Hanson Briggs pregame show. Hanson Briggs of Yankton, your local source for printing and promotional needs on.
There's something new waiting for you at the Crofton Lakeview Golf Course. Come experience a brand new clubhouse where great rounds meet great company. Enjoy the stunning new view while relaxing with friends on the covered patio. Whether you're finishing 9 holes or just stopping by, Lakeview's new clubhouse is a perfect place to unwind. Lakeview Golf Course, come for the game, stay for the experience. Make every visit unforgettable at the new Lakeview Clubhouse. Experience a summer of golf while overlooking the views of the Lewis and Clark Lake. See you there.
Joe Substation in Lesterville says go Bronx. And so should you. Go to Joe Substation when you are hungry. They serve that amazing Alaskan pollock and delicious roasted chicken. Lunch specials are served Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 1. And on Wednesday, it's the all-you-can-eat roasted chicken and fish buffet served from 5 to 8 p.m. Weekends, the kitchen is open from 5 p. to 9. So when you're out and about, hungry and need some nourishment or a cold beverage, Joe's Substation is the place. 4 miles south of Lesterville. Go Bronx.
At Central Farmers Cooperative, they know your operation depends on more than just hard work. It depends on the right partner. From agronomy solutions that boost your yields to reliable seed varieties and the chemicals that help protect every acre. Central Farmers Cooperative is there to support you every step of the way. Local people, local expertise, real results. Central Farmers Cooperative cheering on the surrounding areas in all aspects. Central Farmers Cooperative, growing strong together.
Friendly place to have a drink with friends and family. Darts, pool, big screen TV, nice, friendly, hospitable staff, great decor for family and community gatherings. How about 5 stars? Tremendous place for local people to meet. These are just a few of the comments about the Corner Nugget in Lesterville. Have you been there yet? If not, sounds like you should head to the Corner Nugget in Lesterville. Music, cold beverages, and your favorite drink mixed just right. The Corner Nugget is a proud sponsor of the Lesterville Bronx. Stop in and catch a game on the big screen.
At Menno State Bank, our team is dedicated to the traditions of service. We offer a wide array of products to accommodate all your financial needs, including checking and savings accounts, CDs, loans, IRAs, debit cards, credit cards, a 24-hour ATM, and online banking. Be sure to inquire about our competitive rates. Menno State Bank, member FDIC, proud to serve the Menno community and surrounding areas.
High Street Insurance and Financial in Crofton has what you need for all your insurance needs. Whether it's auto, home, farm, crop, commercial, life, or health, they have the right products and the right service you're looking for all your insurance needs. Call High Street Insurance in Crofton at 402-388-4772 or stop in at 1201 West 2nd Street in Crofton. A proud sponsor of this sports broadcast.
Greg Davis Excavation is the one to call when you're looking for reliable and dependable excavation and demolition work done the right way. From tree removal to full-scale demolition, Greg Davis Excavation has the experience and the equipment to handle it all. Curb, gutter work, sewer lines, drain tile, basement and garage floors, no problem. They have you covered with dependable and fast service you can trust. Residential or commercial, no job is too big. Greg Davis Excavation, a supporter of all Irene sports.
Since 1958, Tabor Lumber Co-op, located in Tabor and Lesterville, has been your trusted partner in agricultural service and supply. At our Tabor location, you will find the Cenex Fuel Island, open 24/7, accepting both credit and debit cards and offering Roadmaster premium diesel fuel and several options of blended ethanol gas. Inside the store, we've got you covered with hardware and paint supplies, plus top quality windows, doors, and siding. This is more than just a co-op. This is Tabor Lumber Co-op. Stop by today. We are here to help you grow.
Welcome back. Hey. No, that's okay. What's up, man? I would have been out of it by now. Welcome back to South Central League Baseball, brought to you by our sponsors on Fox Sports Radio and 5 Star Streaming on YouTube. From Cadwell Park in Mitchell, I'm Michael Schumacher, as the managers are getting ready as they are out at home plate. And so the managers are Brent Griffith for the Clark Traders and, of course, Chris Sutera of the Tabor Bluebirds. I want to thank Chris Sutera, Sutera Enterprises, a sponsor of all Tabor interviews, Tabor, Tyndall, Springfield, Bon Home activities. And so I want to thank Chris Sutera for taking that chance. And if you're interested in sponsoring any interviews on At the Mic, I'd be happy to talk to you. And so just give me a call, 605-661-5858. All right, well, we have some action coming up here. Just to let you know, just to give you an idea, so if you're used to South Central League Baseball and South Central League fields, Cadwell Park is different. That is an expansive outfield. It is 340 down the left field and right field lines. It's 420 to straightaway center and 374 to both left and right center fields to the alleys. What that means is you see more triples here at the state tournament than I think you see all season long in all of the combined games of the South Central League, just because that is such an expansive outfield. But what Tabor has as an advantage is Sarda, Nolan Sarda with good speed in left field. Chase Corton, great speed in center field. And Dylan Lair with great speed in right field. So they're able to cover a lot of ground. And if somebody were to pull up lane, Dustin Livingston, pickup player from Irene, also has great speed out of Irene, and he could play any one of those outfield positions. So they have a big advantage that way, but they are also great defensively. Hunter Halleck, I spoke with Chris Sutera this morning on At the Mic, and we talked about Hunter Halleck and his underrated defense, very much like a Kent Herbeck. You know, if you're an old school Twins fan, Halleck is able to make more difficult throws look easy by digging them out with relative ease. And then Landon Schmidt, probably the most underrated player on this Bluebirds team, just because there are so many amazing players. So Landon Schmidt, just a slick, smooth fielding second baseman. If you're an 80s guy like me, you want to compare him to somebody 80s, 90s, compare him to a Willie Randolph, maybe a Lou Whitaker. Just a good glove, steady bat. Nothing, not spectacular at bat, but just his defense is so amazing that you kind of forget he's out there. Then at shortstop, now normally it's Riley Rothschadel, but today it's going to be Matt Brown, who's been the normal third baseman. And then at third base, it'll be Josiah Peterson. And on the mound, Riley Rothschadel. Rothschadel, we saw him, he had a no-hitter against Freeman for quite a while earlier this season that broke up in about the 6th or 7th inning. Then Matt Brown came in and shut him down. I think ended up with 19 strikeouts total in that game, maybe 21. And then behind the plate, Joey Slama. Again, just such great athleticism behind the plate. Makes so much of that look easy. And so defensively, Tabor has so much advantage. But then offensively, they are strong as well. But this Clark Traders team seems to be playing some pretty good baseball. So I think this should be a pretty good matchup. I'm not quite sure about the pitcher, 1-4 for Hudson Fuller, but those records can be deceiving. So we're going to take a quick break, one final break, and when we come back, we will have our national anthem brought to you by Joe LaBarge and America's Best Realty in honor of the South Dakota Special Olympics. But we are in for a treat, so stick around, come right back, or stick with me, and we'll be bringing you some Tabor Bluebird baseball from Cadwell Park in Mitchell as they get ready to take on the Clark Traders on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube.
Byerly Insurance would like to welcome new customers offering no obligation quotes. They will gladly travel to you with their mobile insurance service, doing business in Yankton, Lesterville, Menno, and surrounding areas of the South Central League. Give Rita Byerly or Brody Byerly a call at 605-387-5999 or go to ByerlyINS.com. When it comes to insurance for autos, home, farm, liability, commercial, work comp, or bonds, Byerly Insurance covers the bases.
The Keg and Tabor is a great place to enjoy some food or a cold one. The grill is on at 11 a.m. Monday through Saturday. Order yourself some appetizers, steak tips, a burger, or some fries or tots. Order up a cold one to go with your meal. Lunch specials are served Monday through Friday. Looking for a place to host a party? Check out the beer garden at the Keg. On the way to the game, make sure you stop by the Keg and Tabor to pick up your cold beverages and munchies. Mike and Anita are proud sponsors of Tabor Bluebirds and all South Central League baseball teams.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball from Cadwell Park in Mitchell. I'm Michael Schumacher as we get ready for the national. That was our national anthem brought to you by Joe LaBarge and America's Best Realty in honor of the South Dakota Special Olympics. I'm Michael Schumacher, and of course at this time, that's when I like to thank the veterans in my life. My daughter, Leela, who is currently now, as of a couple of weeks ago, an E5 in the National Guard in North Carolina. She's coming back this weekend, so we're arranging if Tabor wins. We're going to get together early on Saturday for some brunch, and if they fall short, we'll get together Friday night. I'm kind of pulling for a Saturday brunch, but she's coming back just for a couple days, and I'm super excited. Of course, my dad, who served in the United States Army, my uncle Leroy Schumacher, who served in the United States Army, my late uncle George Dyson, who served in the United States Air Force, served on the Air Force Base in Pickstown. That's how he met my Aunt Judy. And then my late uncle Richard Harvey, Dick Harvey, who served on the USS Ranger in the United States Navy. And then people like Brian Cobbler, who just retired from the Navy after a career in the Navy. Classmate of mine, he's spending some time in Crofton, so we've gotten together a couple of times. He usually tunes in. I'm not sure if he's tuning in today, but I hope so. And then, of course, the late, great Chris Keeler. Chris was in my wedding, graduated with me from Crofton. Played for the Crofton Blue Jays for a number of years and was a football coach, went down to Wayne State. But he served in the National Guard, went overseas, and passed away a number of years ago from illnesses contracted from that time. So want to take a moment just to remember Chris Keeler, left behind a young son who's not so young anymore. And one of the great honors I have every month is interviewing a Veteran of the Month, brought to you by JR's Oasis, and then a monthly sponsor. This month, it's brought to you by H&K Oil and Tire, and this month's Veteran of the Month is Adam Hardy, in the band at the Hardys in Yankton, but doing a lot of work with mental health with veterans. And he says that's directly from his experience. So that's every Thursday at 1:30 on Classic Hits 106.3. One veteran each Thursday for that entire month. So catch it one of these Thursdays for Adam. It's a great... I always love hearing their stories, and I hope you enjoy those as well. All right, well, what we're going to do is we're getting into this right now. As Riley Rothschadel is wrapping up, we're going to take a 30-second timeout. We'll be back with First Pitch here on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube. This is South Central League Baseball, and you know what? There goes the throw down to second, so we're not going to take that timeout. We're just going to keep it right here as we get ready to bring you First Pitch. So leading off, as Tabor is the home team, leading off for Clark will be Cooper Palmer, followed by Zach Tobin and Jacob Steen. Who's on deck is Zach Tobin, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. First pitch from Rothschadel, just off the outside corner, 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes. Now 1-1. Okay, thank you, Tom. Tom, because I had this down at 7:30 in my head too, so thank you so much. All right, and that is in for a strike, 1-2. There have been just some issues with programs, so I've had to double check and triple check and just kind of always panicking that I'm going to have the wrong time. So here's the 1-2 pitch. Rothschadel looks. He comes set, works from the stretch. That ball is laced down the third baseline, fielded by Matt Brown. Long throw over to first, not in time, though. Palmer is able to beat it out for an infield single. Not hit terribly hard, just past the outstretched glove of Josiah Peterson. Fielded beautifully by Matt Brown, and a nice throw to even make it a close play, but one up and a hit for Clark puts a runner on first. That brings up second baseman Zach Tobin, who batted .314 on the season. So again, Tom, thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate that. And Cliff Stein, let's go Birds. So Zach Tobin, a bit of a, I know I need to paint a picture. Just think John Kruk, long hair, So here's Rothschadel working from the stretch, comes home. That is inside, 1-0. So again, Josiah Peterson with that beautiful pitching performance on Friday. And then Matt Brown came to close it down. So Rothschadel hoping to duplicate that. Counts 1-0. That is low, 2-0. So Rothschadel hasn't pitched in a while. So we'll see if there's a little rust to shake off. And 2-0 pitch from Rothschadel. That's in for a strike. 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike with a runner on first in the form of Cooper Palmer, the left fielder, who got an infield single hit deep into the shortstop. So Rothschadel, the Augustana right-hander, comes set, comes home. That's fouled off. Evens the count at 2-2. If you have not been to the state tournament up here at Cadwell Park, definitely plan to try to come. If you're a baseball fan, this is just a great atmosphere. Also set aside some calories and macros for a 1/3 pound burger with some onions. You just need to. So here's the 2-2 pitch coming from Rothschadel. That's fouled straight back. Count remains 2-2. I'm so glad I asked. I'm like, okay, how do you make the onions? And I found out no butter or anything, so I was able to kind of slot those, the sauerkraut, and then how big the burger is. So it's an amazing burger, and it's worth the calories. Trust me. It's worth putting it into your meal plan. That pitch is inside. Full count now to Zach Tobin with Jacob Steen on deck. Cooper Palmer has not made an attempt to run. I'm not quite sure what the speed is, but he looked like he had good speed down the first baseline for that infield single. He gets a little bit bigger lead here. And here's the pitch from Rothschadel. That is low, ball 4. So the first 2 runners are aboard. So runners on first and second. Palmer moves down to second. Tobin moves to first. Brings up catcher Jacob Steen. Steen is a Legion player, batted .468. And so, of course, runners at first, second, and third. So Defensively, they are aware of that for Tabor. As Rocheda looks back to second, comes home. That's in for a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. So that's the first pitch strike for Rocheda. We'll see if that gives them a little bit of a leg up here. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, 0-2. On deck is right fielder Merrick Junker, a pickup player from Millbank. Rocheda comes home. That is just low, 1-2. So again, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 on, nobody out. Again, defensively, Salama behind the plate, Halleck at first, Schmidt at second, Brown at short, and Peterson at third. That ball's grounded right up the middle, just past Schmidt. And Clark's going to get a run as Palmer's going to come around and score. So that's an RBI single for Steen. Tobin will stop at second, but Palmer's going to swing around to score. So the first 3 batters get aboard for Clark. 2 hits and a walk. Nothing's been terribly hard hit, though, but just hit to the right places. Like Willie Keeler used to say, hit it where they ain't, and that's what they've been able to do. Just about a foot away from the glove of Rocheda, a foot away from the glove of Schmidt. That ball is lifted into right field. Lair on his horse, and boy, if anybody could have gotten to that, it would have been Lair, but that was out of his range, and that is 0-1. Now, Tobin does not have great speed at second base, so I don't think you're too worried about him running. You're maybe even thinking possible double play if there's a ground ball to third or to short. But right-handed hitting, Merrick Junker steps in. Again, batted .425 on the season. Here's the pitch. Inside, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. On deck is center fielder Grayson Flory. 1-1 pitch. That is in there for a strike, 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 run across, 2 on, nobody out here in the top of the first. Rocheda looking for that first out of the game. And 1-2 is grounded right back in front of home plate. Rocheda takes it, tosses it to first for the first out. Now that will be a sacrifice as the runners both advance, but now 1 down. And again, Tobin not a speedster at home or at third base, so it kind of changes maybe the dynamic of how you play that. But that'll be a sacrifice for Junker, and that'll bring up center fielder Grayson Flory with third baseman Andrew Magadans on deck. Flory on the season batted .270. Right-handed hitter steps in. Again, those gray pants, red jerseys with the navy blue numbers. First pitch catches the inside corner, 0-1. And you know Rocheda would love to get a strikeout here. A strikeout here would be huge for Rocheda. Had a chance to interview him earlier this year. That pitch catches the inside corner as well, 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes. Runners on second and third. And 0-2 pitch from Rocheda, fouled off, count remains 0-2. But yeah, if you're a baseball fan, making it to Cadwell Park at some point in the state tournament is definitely worthwhile. Even if you're not a fan of the teams, if you're not following any of them, it's an amazing atmosphere. I stuck around a little bit yesterday for the game following the Why Not game, and it was fun just to see everybody. So Rocheda comes set. The right-hander steps off now, kicks around just a little bit. Now he steps back on the rubber, looks home. Pivots, comes home, and swing and a miss for strike 3. That's a huge strikeout for Rocheda. So now runners stay at second and third, but now you have 2 down as third baseman Andrew Magadans comes to a bat. So with those first 3 runners making it aboard, if Rocheda can get out with just the 1 run coming across, that would be huge. Now there is a courtesy runner. There is a courtesy runner for Clark. I can't see the number.
Courtesy runner at second base for Clark, number 16.
It is number 16, Peyton Hassenpfeffer. Wasn't that what the king always wanted? Hassenpfeffer. Well, this is just Hoffer. Swing and a miss by Magadans. 0-1. Peyton Hofer. On deck is first baseman Brent Griffith, who also stands to serve as the manager of this Clark team. That ball is popped up, and Hunter Halleck comes over in foul territory, grabs it for the third out of the inning. So, I think that's a tale of two halves of an inning. The first three runners get on. One runner comes across. 2 hits. No errors. 2 runners left on base. After half an inning on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard, it is Clark 1. Tabor coming up here for the bottom half of the first after these messages on the Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube.
TLC Propane of Yankton, Lesterville, and Tabor wants you to know that they're proud of their high level of customer service and that they are locally owned. Building a new home or business? Give Trevor a call today for quotes on tank sizes or with any of your propane questions. TLC Propane can refill or exchange your camper, grill, and fire pit propane bottles. TLC Propane Yankton is now located at 2208 Whiting Drive. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
At Sioux International of Freeman, South Dakota, they pride themselves on delivering equipment solutions to every sort of farming operation. The company continues to exude a tradition of excellent customer service and employ a large staff of knowledgeable technicians. Get the scoop on the latest deals and what's new, whether it's ag equipment, acreage equipment, lawn and garden, or equipment attachments. It's what they do at your Sioux International dealer in Freeman, South Dakota, a proud sponsor of this sports broadcast.
You'll find Merchant State Bank with locations in Freeman, Hurley, Viborg, and Irene. They offer big bank products with small-town service to meet your financial needs and promote economic growth and stability within the communities they call home. Go to msb-sd.com to browse their website. Merchant State Bank, your hometown banks since 1899. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball at the Class B State South Dakota Amateur Baseball Tournament as we get ready for the bottom half of the first inning. On the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard, Tabor trails 1-0 with their half of the first coming up. Hey, just a quick reminder, if you are in the Vermilion area tomorrow at 12:30 at CC's, the inaugural meeting of Club Red. Vermilion head coach Louis Budmeyer will be speaking, and new USD head coach for football Matt Vitzthum will be on hand and speaking as well. This is a new monthly kind of quarterback club, so let's get out and encourage you. I encourage you and your family and friends to make it out there. I'm going to try to be there, but I will have Marcus Destin on At the Mic tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock here on Fox Sports Radio if you want to tune in. He's one of the organizers of that. All right, pitcher Riley Rothschadel is up first for Tabor. First pitch is laced into left field, and that will be caught out there. Wow. Maybe Cooper Palmer might have misadjusted just a little bit, but was able to readjust and make the catch. So 1 pitch, 1 out. That brings up right fielder Dylan Lair. Lair on the season batted .416. He's a pickup player from Menno and played ball at USF. And so he's looking to get on, one of the faster players that you're going to find. And here's the first pitch to Lair. That is in for a strike from Hudson Fuller. 0-1. On deck is first baseman Hunter Halleck, who's on deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. That pitch out of the zone, 1-1. Defensively, so on the mound, it's Hudson Fuller. Behind the plate, it is Jacob Steen. At first base, Brent Griffith. At second, Zach Tobin. And that pitch is low, 2-1. At short for Clark, you have Watson Grantham. And at third base, Andrew Magadans. From left to right, Cooper Palmer, Grayson Flory, and Merrick Junker. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's laced over to short, fielded cleanly. Throw over to first just in time to get Dylan Lair. So quickly 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning. That was a 6-3 putout. As Watson Grantham, who I think has a great like superhero nickname, Watson Grantham, and that'll bring up Hunter Halleck, one of the leading hitters, just one of the steadiest hitters for this Tabor team. And if you're tuned in on the stream, and if you want to chime in with a shout-out or just tell me where you're watching or listening, that would be awesome. And while you're here, if you just want to give it a thumbs up, that would be so cool. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. And again, Hudson Fuller was 1-4 on the season for Clark. Here's his pitch. Halleck swings and misses, 1-1. So again, the first two are down for Tabor. Halleck would love to get aboard, bring up Chase Corton, this hard-hitting center fielder. That pitch is in for a strike, 1-2. So Tabor would love to get on the board. Halleck wearing the old-fashioned, pulling up the stirrups, the horizontal stripes, and that pitch is out of the zone, 2-2. Black, navy blue stirrups with the light blue and white stripes, horizontal, just looking awesome. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. That ball is grounded over to short, fielded by Grantham, and Halleck will run it down to first, and that'll be a 1-2-3 inning. So in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. At the end of 1 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard, it is Clark 1, Tabor nothing. We'll be back with the top of the second after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube.
Parker Hannafin in Yankton has proudly produced filters in their communities for 40 years. With a mission to protect their customers' engines and equipment from first to last use, you know you can trust Parker Hannafin. They have superb product quality, an extensive distribution network, and the industry's broadest product line. All of this in 40 years of doing what they're good at. That's Parker Hannafin in Yankton. Check out their website to see their wide variety of products and how they can help you. Parker Hannafin in Yankton is a proud supporter of all South Central League athletes.
Minnow Beer Garden, where the game's always on, the drinks are cold, and the wings and pizzas are delicious. There's Chislic and burgers too. Gather your crew for a night of darts, pool, or casino fun. Or soak up the sun on the spacious outdoor area. Whether you're cheering on your favorite team or just looking for a laid-back hangout, Minnow Beer Garden is your destination. You won't go hungry or thirsty when you hang at the legendary beer garden in Minnow.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball from the Class B Amateur Baseball Tournament at Cadwell Park in Mitchell. We enter the second inning, leading off for Clark. The bottom 3 in the order, Brent Griffith, Hudson Fuller, and Watson Grantham. And I see Katie Cheehawk listening from Tyndall. Glad to have you aboard. First pitch from Rothschild just off the outside corner to the left-handed hitting Brent Griffith. So 1-0 is the count. Tabor would like to keep it 1-0 here. That ball is laced into right field, though. Lair will catch up to it, and Griffith will be held to a single, but that is the third hit of the game for Clark. And that brings up the pitcher, Hudson Fuller. On deck is shortstop Watson Grantham. Who's on deck is brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. So Rothschild with Griffith getting a lead off of first. That pitch is a little high, 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes here in the top half of the second inning. Runner on first with the third hit of the game for Clark. Rothschild working from the stretch. That pitch is swung on and missed by Hudson Fuller, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Good crowd out here tonight. Rothschild comes set. Comes home. That's swung on, not missed. It was tipped, but fouled off into the glove of Slama, 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 on with nobody out here in the top half of the second. We got 51 listening, so watching on the stream. And there's a swing and a miss for a third strike. So that'll be 1 down here in the top of the second. That is the second strikeout of the game for Rothschild. And that'll bring up shortstop Watson Grantham. Grantham is a Legion player, batted .338, but boy, fielded a nice shortstop there in the bottom of the first. Here's the pitch from Rothschadel. That's in for a strike, 0-1. So again, if Tabor wins tonight, they'll play on Friday, and we will have coverage of that here on Fox Sports and 5-Star Streaming. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Rothschadel. That's fouled off. Count moves to 0-2. Again, we want to thank all of our sponsors for joining us this season. We really appreciate it. I see a Lake Norden native. We'll be there Friday. I don't have your name, but yeah, you're right. Nothing better than baseball at Cadwell. And that just misses the zone 1 and 2. And, Lake Norden fell in the first round, and they announced Bert Toulson will be retiring. That is a legacy. That really is a legacy. I have it down at 5:30 if they win, Cliff. So that's what I'm planning on. I guess it'll either be 5:30 or 7:30, but I think it'd be 5:30. And so that would be the plan. So pregame would start at 5. That ball's fouled off. Count moves to 1-2. So Rothschadel with a runner on first and one down. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That ball is grounded slowly over to Peterson. Over to second, they do get the lead runner. They are not able to turn the double play, but they do get the lead runner. So now 2 down, runner still at first, but this time it's in the form of Grantham, who is now aboard by a fielder's choice. Brent Griffith is out heading to second, brings up the top of the order, and Cooper Palmer, who singled in the first just past the outstretched glove of Josiah Peterson. Fielded beautifully by Matt Brown, but that throw it had to be an off-balance throw. Palmer had good speed, just not quite able to nip him, but it was a great play. Palmer, a left-handed hitting left fielder, batted .448 as a Legion player this season. Throw over to first, not in time. And again, Hunter Halleck plays a beautiful first base. He's, like I said, if you're a Twins fan, when I say Kent Herbeck, you know what I mean. That pitch catches the outside corner, 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike on Cooper Palmer with Zach Tobin on deck. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Just off the outside corner. Not much different than that first one, but maybe an inch or so, and that's all it takes. So it's 1-1. I want to get to Lake Norden. I want to get to the Amateur Baseball Hall of Fame. I have not had a chance to make it yet, so definitely bucket list. And that ball is lifted high, foul, and out of play. Not in the direction of the station vehicle, so that's always good. So that makes the count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 on, 2 down here in the top of the second. Tabor trailing on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard by a 1-0 count. Another throw over to first, not in time. So Rothschadel comes home, and that ball is laced right up the middle, fielded by Landon Schmidt, who fields it pretty much standing on second base. So after that lead-off single, they go in order 1, 2, 3. And so in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. After an inning and a half, it is Clark 1, Tabor nothing. We'll be back with the bottom of the second after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star Streaming on YouTube.
Larson Carpet has the best flooring for your space, lifestyle, and budget. Family owned and operated since 1972, Larson Carpet offers a huge variety of flooring options, both in stock and special order. When you want the job done right, come to Larson Carpet. Located at 208 Walnut Street in the Meridian District, Larson Carpet is your friendly, family-owned flooring specialist that is right for you.
Rural Manufacturing Company of Freeman, South Dakota has a large inventory of steel for buildings and fabrication needs. They stock square and rectangular tube, pipe, angles, channels, and rounds. Rural Manufacturing also stocks shapes in stainless steel. Their sheet metal stock consists of hot-rolled steel, stainless steel, and galvanized steel. Concrete rebar is also in stock in sizes 3/8 to 3/4 in 20-foot lengths. Call Rural Manufacturing in Freeman for pricing or info on fabrication services available. Want your party to be a hoot? Then have it at Hoots Bar in Freeman, where they are always looking for a great group to party with. The staff at Hoots says stop in and try the selection of beers on tap or use the easy drive-up window for off sale. But the Hoots team would rather see you join them inside. Hoots Bar in Freeman offers darts, lottery, and golf. You can also relax with your cocktail in the outdoor beer garden. Hungry? Order up a delicious Hoots Bar Pizza. Fun, friendly, helpful staff is waiting for you at Hoots Bar in Freeman. See you at Hoots.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball at Cadwell Park in Mitchell. I'm Michael Schumacher on Fox Sports Radio as we enter the bottom half of the second inning and 5-star streaming. Here's the first pitch to Chase Corton, grounded into deep short, fielded cleanly, comes up throwing, and they get him by half a step. If he fields that any less cleanly, that is going to be an infield single with Corton's speed, but as it is, it's a 6-3 put out. That brings up Josiah Peterson, the third baseman, batted .375 on the year. On deck is catcher Joey Slama. Who's on deck is brought to you by Chris Haygrinding in Tyndall. So Hudson Fuller has set down 4 in a row for the Clark Traders. But Josiah Peterson gets into that one. That is sending the center fielder back, and he will. He did not adjust that cleanly, but he did get that glove up in time for the second out. So 2 up, 2 down, 2 pitches. So that brings up catcher Joey Slama. On deck is shortstop Matt Brown. Slama steps in, right-handed hitter. Now, Tabor has been making some contact, just not to places that didn't get fielded. So, first pitch to Slama is a ball, 1-0. We'll see if that contact turns into hits later. Fuller works from the stretch. That is inside, 2-0. So, again, a good solid hit to left field by Riley Rothschadel. A good solid hit to center field by Peterson. Some solid grounders to short. So we'll see if that contact starts finding holes. But that one's laced beautifully fielded there by third baseman Andrew Magadans. Otherwise, that's extra bases. So again, if those start finding a hole, could be a completely different story. But as it is, it's a 1, 2, 3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. After 2 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard, it is Clark 1, Tabor nothing. We'll be back with more on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube.
Jones Feed and Grain Trucking in Wynot, Nebraska is looking for you if you have a CDL. This is a full-time opening for a semi-truck driver to run tanker trailer, hauling liquid feed and fertilizer. Also a hopper trailer hauling feed and grain. This position is within the regional area and home most evenings. A part-time position is also available running quad-axle straight truck, hauling liquid feed within the region and home every evening. Interested? Call Jones Feed and Grain Trucking, 402-357-2633.
Rewarding you for doing everyday things, like buying gas, shopping, and dining local. Does your bank do that? If you're a Core Trust customer, your bank does that. When you open a premium or preferred checking account and meet requirements, you get access to Core Trust perks powered by Bazing, an exclusive network offering 300,000 plus deals and discounts on dining, shopping, travel, fuel, and more. Visit us online, in person, or by phone. Terms and conditions apply. Member FDIC.
At Renewable Ag Products, their business is based on customer relationships and customer service. They coordinate distiller supplies to provide area livestock producers with their commodity needs by working closely with multiple ethanol and processing plants within their region. Their office trades a core group of feed ingredients that include modified distillers, wet distillers, dry distillers, grain, corn syrup, soybean meal, soy hull pellets, corn gluten feed, and corn screening. Call Renewable Ag Products and talk with Henry or Frank. They do their best to make your purchasing decisions easy.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball at the State B Amateur Tournament at Cadwell Park in Mitchell. I'm Michael Schumacher here on Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star Streaming on YouTube. As we enter the third inning, Clark leads Tabor by a score of 1-0. Riley Rothschadel, entering his third inning of work, will face Zach Tobin, Jacob Steen, and Merrick Junker. Jacob Steen is Who's on Deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. And Tobin gets a hold of that one and laces that into center field, so that'll be another lead-off single for Clark. Each of the first batters. So Tobin is at first with the fourth hit of the game for Clark. Brings up catcher, Legion player Jacob Steen. That first pitch is in for a strike. Steen singled his first time up. How are their arms in the... I haven't seen Sarda much, but I know Corton's good and Lair has a great arm. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Steen. That's laced into left field and back-to-back singles. That's the fifth hit of the game for Clark. Puts runners at first and second. Now, the one thing that you deal with is Zach Tobin, the second baseman, is not a speedster by any means, so it really is going to be base-to-base right now with Tobin as the lead runner. That does bring up pickup player and right fielder Merrick Junker, a pickup player from Millbank who batted .425 on the year. Rothschadel delivers, and that's lifted high into right field. Dylan Lair gliding over. That's going to be foul. He'll catch it, and Tobin's going to try to advance to third, and they will not get him in, so runners will advance. So runners now at second and third with one down, and that will bring up, and that is Junker's second sacrifice of the night. So with Tobin at third and Steen at second, that brings up Grayson Flory, the center fielder who struck out swinging back in the first. On deck is third baseman Andrew Magadans. So Rothschadel comes set, winds, delivers. That ball is fouled off. 0-1. So hindsight being 20/20, they probably wish they had cut off that throw from Lair. Steen would not have been able to advance to second, but runners at second and third. We had this in the first inning as well. That ball is popped up. Hunter Halleck in foul territory. Nope, Riley Rothschadel comes over, and he'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. So now, again, 2 down, runners on second and third. And that'll bring up third baseman Andrew Magadans, who popped out to Hunter Halleck to end the first inning. Hofer again will be the courtesy runner for Peyton Hofer will again be the courtesy runner for Clark, as Steen will come in as a catcher, just trying to get the gear changed. Rothschadel facing Magadans. Comes set, comes home. That's fouled off. 0-1. So again, 1-0, but boy, Clark has been able to get 5 hits and a walk off of Rothschadel so far through 3 innings. But man, if Rothschadel could get a strikeout here, close this out, that would be awesome. Just a 1-0 lead for Clark. That's just off the outside corner, 1-1. Again, tomorrow morning, Marcus Destin on, and Elena Mathieson, the new head volleyball coach for Viborg Hurley, on at the mic tomorrow morning during the 8 o'clock hour. That pitch is inside, 2-1. During the 7 o'clock hour, we'll have an interview with Josiah Peterson, the third baseman, the pitcher who pitched so well, plays for Augustana. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Rothschadel. That ball is lifted into shallow left field, and Brown goes out, and the shortstop will make the catch. So again, they are able to, with runners at second and third, with 1 down, they're able to get the final 2. So no runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 runners left on base. After 2.5, it is the Clark Traders 1, Tabor Bluebirds 0 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. We'll be back after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star Streaming on YouTube.
Give Why Not Oil a call for your fuel, tire, and oil needs. They deliver treated farm and road diesel along with unleaded and super unleaded gasoline to both tanks. They offer gravity flow bulk oil, DEF systems, and can assist you with all your tire needs from small lawn tires to large ag tires. Why Not Oil Company offers hydraulic hose repairs, automotive service, and more. Stop in for fuel at the pump or a cold drink from the small convenience store. Why Not Oil Company? Why Not Nebraska?
If your car can't get you all the way home or just needs regular maintenance, call Downtown Auto Service in Crofton with a commitment to providing you with honest quality service with reasonable prices. With the technology and expertise Downtown Auto Service in Crofton provides, your car will have the best care imaginable. When it comes to your vehicle, you want the best, and Downtown Auto Service in Crofton is not only the best downtown, it's the best all around. That's Downtown Auto Service in Crofton.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball at the South Dakota Class B Amateur Baseball Tournament from Cadwell Park in Mitchell. I'm Michael Schumacher, where we enter the bottom half of the third inning. Tabor trailing 1-0 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. Coming up this inning for the Bluebirds, it'll be Matt Brown, Nolan Sarda, and Landon Schmidt. So far, Hudson Fuller has no-hit the Bluebirds. They'd love to get something going here in the bottom of the third. And yes, I definitely want to see Bert Toulson Field. I'd love to catch a Lake Norden game. And Riley Rothschadel was the starting pitcher and is the starting pitcher. And I do definitely want to see the Hall of Fame. And that pitch is, first pitch is a ball, 1-0. Well, an MPP J3T, I would really appreciate that. I would love to get up there. So 1 ball, no strikes. That pitch is inside. Ooh, that hits him. That hits Matt Brown and his band of renown. So Tabor has their first base runner. Hey, hit by a pitch, you'll take it. You'll take anything just to get that first runner on. So Matt Brown heads down to first. Brings up Nolan Sarda. Sarda, one of those hidden players, much like Landon Schmidt, batted .609 on the season. Plays a mean left field. Just so overlooked because there's so many big hitters and big players and personalities in this lineup. But he steps in, the right-handed hitting Sarda with Landon Schmidt on deck. Landon Schmidt is Who's on Deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. That first pitch to Sarda is in for a strike. Now, Matt Brown not known for his speed. I don't expect him to take off. That pitch is fouled straight back, 0-2. And again, Landon Schmidt is Who's on Deck. So again, Tabor would love to get something going. And like I said, they've been making contact. I mean, they've been some pretty good hot shots. A few of those were an inch here and an inch there, and all of a sudden it's a hit. But here's the 0-2 pitch as Brown does take off, laced down the third baseline, and Brown's going to be safe at second. And they will... Sarda will be out. He got tagged. The throw kind of took the throw from Magadans took Griffith off the bag, but he was able to tag Sarda. But we'll call that a sacrifice because Brown is able to get over to second. So now a runner at second with 1 down here in the bottom of the third. Brings up Landon Schmidt and minimizes the chance at a double play. First pitch to Schmidt is a ball, 1-0. And on deck is the top of the order and Riley Rothschadel. That ball is low, 2-0. So 2-0. Landon Schmidt batted .315 on the season, ahead in the count with Rothschadel, hoping to get a chance to help his cause as he is in the on-deck circle. Not that there's a circle, but that ball 3-0. He kind of waved his arm. I thought, was that a strike call? But I don't think it was. So I think it's 3 balls, no strikes. And so we'll see if he's swinging away. And that is inside for ball 4. So now runners at first and second. Now, I will say this. It does return that double play possibility. But Rothschadel has good speed, so he's hard to double up. So Matt Brown at second. Landon Schmidt at first. And that brings up Riley Rothschadel. He flew out to left field, a nice hit, just well played out there by their left fielder, Cooper Palmer. That ball is grounded over to second, fielded cleanly, throw over to first is not in time, and it gets past the first baseman, and that will score a run as Brown alertly comes home. And so on the fielder's choice, Riley Rothschadel will be aboard, and he will make it to second on the error. And so that'll be a throwing error on the shortstop. And so still no hit for Tabor as Schmidt is out going to second. And Rothschadel is safe at first on the relay, and he is now at second. So on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard, it is 1-1. And that brings up Dylan Lair. Dylan Lair takes strike one, 0-1. So now Tabor has tied it up, one apiece. Rothschadel would love to come across, give himself a lead here. And Lair grounded out to short with 2 down. Lair has that speed, though. And that is inside, 1-1. And Lair, just one of those great pickups. Tabor had first choice as district champs, and they picked up Lair. A great bat, great speed in the outfield, can cover so much ground, especially in Cadwell. Is such a nice advantage to have. Here's the 1-1 pitch, popped up down the right field line. Griffith giving chase, and he will not be able to get to it. It landed so close to that fence. He was eyeballing it, but it does make the count 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 on with 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Tabor has plated a run to even things up. And I do want to get to that Hall of Fame. I've had a chance to interview so many Hall of Famers this season that I would really love to get there just to see their entries. I think it'd be awesome. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Fuller to Lair, grounded up the middle, fielded by Palmer, but he's going to have to throw, and beautiful play by Palmer as he spins. And that is another 6-3 putout. Wow. Without that throw, that's a dangerous play, and Tabor probably would have scored a run, but as it is, 1 run, no hits, 1 error, 1 runner left on base. After 3, we're all tied up. It's Tabor 1, Clark 1 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. We'll be back with the 4th inning after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube.
Midwest Insurance Agency values family. Our agency has been family run for over 60 years. We pride ourselves on excellent, knowledgeable customer service. This day and age, everyone is so eager to have an immediate response with a quote. But at Midwest Insurance, we take our time and evaluate your assets and make sure you are properly insured. We take those what-ifs very seriously. As we continue on our family business with hopes of our children, Brooke or Jet, taking over in the future, we will continue to be there for you always. Come be a part of our family. Midwest Insurance Agency, 3016 Piper Street, Yankton.
Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust understands what it takes to be a part of the community. It's not just about transactions, it's about relationships. Whether you're buying your first home, growing your business, or planning for the future, their team is here to help every step of the way. Elkhorn Valley Bank uses local decision-making, personalized service, and modern banking tools like online banking and a teller on demand to make managing money simple and convenient. Helping you reach your financial goals, Elkhorn Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball from Cadwell Park in Mitchell on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube. I'm Michael Schumacher. Well, we have ourselves a new ball game. It is Tabor 1 and Clark 1 as we enter the 4th inning. And Riley Rothschadel on the mound for the Bluebirds. Gets his final warm-up pitch to Joey Slama in there. Riley's given up 5 hits. He has given up a walk, but has only given up that 1 run. And the hits haven't been terribly hard hit. And so, keeping them in the park and then getting a few strikeouts, 2 strikeouts, a couple of pop-ups. I don't think his line is quite indicative of how he's pitched. And that first pitch is in for a strike to Brent Griffith, 0-1. It's Brent Griffith with Hudson Fuller and Watson Grantham on deck. Who's on deck is brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Just off the outside corner, 1-1. Again, I want to thank you all for joining us. And if you could give us a thumbs up, that would be awesome on the stream. Just helps us expand the channel. That ball's laced into right field. Dylan Lair coming in, and he will catch that for out number 1. Well, that is the first inning where Riley has gotten the first batter out of the inning. So that is hopefully a good sign. So F9 on that one. Brings up pitcher Hudson Fuller, who struck out swinging in the second. On deck is shortstop Watson Grantham. That ball's fouled off. 0-1. Now that one was towards where the station vehicle is. But we'll see. It could be a little surprise for me afterwards. Here's the 0-1 pitch for Rothschadel. That is fouled straight back into the netting. 0-2. Want to thank Zach Spear for taking the time to go get some Freon, air-conditioned coolant to put in there, because otherwise I wouldn't have had any cool air coming up. And you know what? A little bit stifling. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Rothschadel to Hudson Fuller. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So quickly, 2 up and 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning. Brings up Watson Grantham, who reached on a fielder's choice back in the second. Grantham batting .338 is a Legion player. On deck is Cooper Palmer, who's played some magnificent defense out there. Holy moly. That ball's grounded foul. 0-1. And just some news, I will be broadcasting Vermilion Tanager Athletics this fall and winter and spring. And Chad Peterson will be joining me on home games. And Teddy Nesmith will be joining me on some games and road games as well. So really excited. Teddy, he had approached me last year, and then we just weren't able to make it happen, but I reached out to him, and looking forward to that. So Teddy Nesmith, I think he's going to be a senior, maybe a junior, but he's at Vermilion, so excited for that. So here's the 0-2 pitch now to Grantham. That ball's grounded over to Landon Schmidt, fielded cleanly, comes up throwing, and that is a 1-2-3 inning, the first 1-2-3 inning of the game for Riley Rothschadel. In the inning, no runs. That means no hits, also no errors, and nobody left on base. After 3.5, it is Tabor 1, Clark 1 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. We'll be back with more after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube.
There's something new waiting for you at the Crofton Lakeview Golf Course. Come experience a brand new clubhouse where great rounds meet great company. Enjoy the stunning new view while relaxing with friends on the covered patio. Whether you're finishing 9 holes or just stopping by, Lakeview's new clubhouse is a perfect place to unwind. Lakeview Golf Course, come for the game, stay for the experience. Make every visit unforgettable at the new Lakeview Clubhouse. Experience a summer of golf while overlooking the views of the Lewis and Clark Lake. See you there.
Joe Substation in Lesterville says go Bronx. And so should you. Go to Joe Substation when you are hungry. They serve that amazing Alaskan pollock and delicious roasted chicken. Lunch specials are served Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 1. And on Wednesday, it's the all-you-can-eat roasted chicken and fish buffet served from 5 to 8 p.m. Weekends, the kitchen is open from 5 p. to 9. So when you're out and about, hungry and need some nourishment or a cold beverage, Joe's Substation is the place. 4 miles south of Lesterville. Go Bronx.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball from the State Amateur Class B Tournament in Cadwell Park in Mitchell. I'm Michael Schumacher on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube. I want to thank you for joining us, and thank you to our sponsors, including Grassland Heating and Cooling, upon whose scoreboard it reads Tabor 1, Clark 1. Batting this inning for Tabor will be Hunter Halleck, Chase Corton, and Josiah Peterson. Who's on deck? Well, that's Chase Corton. Brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding. In Tyndall, facing Hudson Fuller. Here's his first pitch, and that is out of the zone. 1-0. Once again, want to thank you for joining us. Really appreciate the support and the views. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Fuller. That's grounded sharply over to short, fielded cleanly by Palmer. Comes up throwing, and Palmer has had himself a heck of a game over there in short. That's 1 up, 1 down. That is the 5th 6-3 putout of the night. So that brings up Chase Corton. Corton was one of those ground outs to short. So here's the first pitch to Corton, lifted into deep center field, but plenty of room there for Grayson Flory to grab that. So 2 up, 2 down here in the 4th inning. And that'll bring up Josiah Peterson. Josiah Peterson flew out to deep center field back in the 2nd. Legendary Mike Henriksen is here in the press box with us, so you know it's a big deal when Mike Henriksen's here. That's all I'm saying. So Hudson Fuller comes home. That's fouled off, 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike on Josiah Peterson. Joey Slama on deck. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, 0-2. Had a chance to talk to Peterson earlier this morning. Getting ready to head back to Augustana. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Fuller to Peterson. That is low, out of the zone. 1-2. So again, I highly recommend getting to Cadwell Park if you are a baseball fan at all. Just like I think I need to get to the Hall of Fame in Lake Norden. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fuller works from the stretch. That's laced into left center field, and that's going to get in there and drop. And Peterson's going to run for second. Will he be taken out? No. Slides in safely. That is a double for Josiah Peterson, the first hit of the game for the Bluebirds, and that was well stroked. And so a double for Peterson puts him at second with Joey Slama coming up. And Slama, in his first at-bat to end the second, was a hot shot down the third baseline that Magadans was able to dive and field. So we'll see if Slama can try to replicate that, but maybe just avoid the glove a little bit. Tabor has been behind, but they're back in tied, and so they're looking to see if they can take their first lead of the game. That is fouled off, 0-1. I did have Slama on my show earlier this year, and he got married this summer. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's laced over to Palmer at short, and that throw from Palmer is high past the first baseman, and another throwing error for Palmer. He's fielded beautifully, and he's made some great throws, but he's had 2 throwing errors, and that will be an error. That was going to be a close play, and so Slama stays at first, but Peterson with 2 out, he was just able to keep on trucking, and so Tabor now takes their first lead at 2-1, the second error of the game for Clark. And there goes Mike Henriksen again, one of the great ones. He had this great South Dakota history show that I'd like to resurrect if he'd be willing to help me out, because I thought that show was amazing. So that brings up Matt Brown. Matt Brown was hit by a pitch. There's a throw over to Slama. And Richard Klochek chiming in. Richard's a good listener as well. Thanks, Richard. So here's the first pitch to Brown. That is high, inside, 1-0. So Tabor has their first lead of the game. We'll see if they're able to capitalize. Brown, he has a strong stroke over there. Also took a hit. Slama at first with, I don't know if it's still Slama over there. That ball's fouled off. 1-1. And I think it is still Slama over there, though. Joey has great speed, so, while you love the efficiency of running for a catcher so they can get their gear on, if you're Tabor, you love having the speed of Slama over there. So here's the 1-1 pitch to Brown. Slama takes off. Here's a throw down to second, not in time. Slama is in there with a stolen base. So now in scoring position if there's a hit to the outfield, and that pitch was called a ball. So now it's 2-1. With a runner on second. So Tabor trying to manufacture another run here after taking their first lead of the game. And that's why I said, you love the efficiency, but Slama's so fast. And Brown takes strike 2. So it's 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out with a runner on base, number 2. And Fuller working from the stretch, comes home. Brown grounds it right back to the pitcher. Fuller fields it. Throw over to first. Wow, that was kind of an eephus pitch over to first, but it is a 1-3 putout. But in the inning, 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, 1 runner left. At the end of 4, it is now Tabor 2, Clark 1 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. We'll be back with the 5th inning after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube.
At Central Farmers Cooperative, they know your operation depends on more than just hard work. It depends on the right partner. From agronomy solutions that boost your yields to reliable seed varieties and the chemicals that help protect every acre. Central Farmers Cooperative is there to support you every step of the way. Local people, local expertise, real results. Central Farmers Cooperative cheering on the surrounding areas in all aspects. Central Farmers Cooperative, growing strong together.
Friendly place to have a drink with friends and family. Darts, pool, big screen TV, nice, friendly, hospitable staff, great decor for family and community gatherings. How about 5 stars? Tremendous place for local people to meet. These are just a few of the comments about the Corner Nugget in Lesterville. Have you been there yet? If not, sounds like you should head to the Corner Nugget in Lesterville. Music, cold beverages, and your favorite drink mixed just right. The Corner Nugget is a proud sponsor of the Lesterville Bronx. Stop in and catch a game on the big screen.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball at the State Amateur Tournament. We enter the 5th inning with Tabor leading now 2-1 over the Clark Traders. Batting this inning for the Traders, the top of the order with Cooper Palmer, Zach Tobin, and Jacob Steen. Zach Tobin is who's on deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. Again, Tabor takes their first lead in the bottom of the 4th. They'd love to hold them here. Left-handed hitting Palmer batted .448 in Legion ball, has a single and grounded out to second. That ball is low and outside from Rothschadel. So 1-0. Again, Tobin is who's on deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. This is a great game so far. And Rothschadel, that one's lifted into left field. That one's going to drop fair. Sarda catches up to it, though. Palmer heading to second. And Palmer is in safely with a stand-up. Well, no, he did slide, so it's not a stand-up double. That is the 6th hit of the game for Clark. Puts a runner on second with nobody out for Zach Tobin, who has walked and singled so far tonight. Tobin again reminds me of John Kruk. If you remember John Kruk with the Phillies. Just reminds me of him. I think he played for the Padres as well. So here's the pitch from Rothschadel to Tobin. Grounded down the third baseline, and that gets past Josiah Peterson. But Palmer's coming home. No. He will stop at third. Nice play by Sarda to get to that and get that throw in. So another hit. Runners at first and third. Nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. And that will bring up catcher Jacob Steen, who has 2 singles on the night. Swing and a miss. Strike 1, 0-1. A strikeout would be huge for Rothschadel. It would allow for a double play to possibly end the inning. And so Jacob Steen steps in. 0-1 pitch from Rothschadel. That's in for called strike 2, 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes. Runners on first and third with nobody out here in the top of the 5th. Tabor leading 2-1. On the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. That pitch is just a little bit low, 1-2. So again, Cooper Palmer getting a lead off of third. Good speed over there at third. Zach Tobin getting a lead off of first. Not a ton of speed right there, so it is very double playable. A strikeout would be huge. That ball is fouled off. Count remains 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 on, nobody out. So Rothschadel working from the stretch. As Steen steps back in Merrick Junker on deck. That pitch is grounded over to third. Peterson picks it up, and the throw is wild to second, and so everybody will be safe. That'll be a throwing error, an E5, and a run scores as Cooper Palmer was off with contact. And so now Tobin will be at third, and Steen is on first. So still runners at first and third, tied back up at 2, and that's the first error of the game for Tabor. So that brings up Merrick Junker. That one's laced into right field, and that will score another run, and Clark takes the lead right back. Here's a throw to third, and Peterson cannot get the tag applied, so runners still at first and third. It's now a 3-2 lead for Clark on the 8th hit of the game for Tabor. Still nobody out here in the top half of the 5th inning. So that was a single for Merrick Junker, the pickup player from Platte. And so that brings up Grayson Flory, the center fielder. It's now a 3-2 lead for Clark. There's a steal for Junker. He'll be at second now. Runners at second and third, a swing and a miss, so count is 0-1. As the third base coach wants to talk with Grayson Flory. As Rothschadel waits, Flory getting back into the box. Flory stands towards the back end of the batter's box. Rothschadel comes set, comes home, and that is high, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners on second and third with nobody out here in the top of the 5th. And here's a steal, throw home. Oh, and contact is made by Grayson Flory, makes it 1-2. Steen was trying to steal home, was coming home a suicide squeeze. If he had not made contact, he would have been out by a mile. But Flory did make contact, but the bunt attempt was foul. So it's now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners still on second and third with nobody out. Here's Rothschadel, comes home. That ball's popped up, and that will be out of play. We'll do it all again at 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That's bounced right back to Rothschadel. It knocks him down, and they are unable to get a single out. Wow, so again, as I've said it multiple times this inning, runners at first and third, and a run scores. That is another hit, as it is now 4-2 in favor of Clark, with nobody out here in the top of the 5th. And we are going to have a Mama J's Bar and Cafe meeting on the mound. We'll be back after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube.
At Menno State Bank, our team is dedicated to the traditions of service. We offer a wide array of products to accommodate all your financial needs, including checking and savings accounts, CDs, loans, IRAs, debit cards, credit cards, a 24-hour ATM, and online banking. Be sure to inquire about our competitive rates. Menno State Bank, member FDIC, proud to serve the Menno community and surrounding areas.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball. So Riley Rothschadel stays in there. You know, nothing's been a couple of hard hits or hits to the outfield, but otherwise some unfortunate throwing errors, some fielding. That ball is lifted into center field, and Chase Corton can't get to that one. So runners will be at first and second, and that is now 5-2 in favor of Clark, as runners are at first and second. That's the 10th hit of the game for Clark. It's a single for Magadans. brings up first baseman Brent Griffith. So, Junker scores. Grayson Flory at second. Andrew Magadans at first. Brent Griffith, who is 1 for 2, and bunts that down the third baseline. Foul, 0-1. So again, even that hit to the outfield was not hard hit, just hit to the right spot. So, you know, it is a tough call to make. I understand. It's tough. And another bunt attempt, that's high in the air. That will be foul and out of play, actually. So count moves to 0-2. So likely removes the threat of a bunt here on this play as Brent Griffith steps back in, down 0-2. He singled in the second and flew out to right field in the fourth. On deck is Hudson Fuller. Runners get their leads off first and second. Rothschadel comes home. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That's a huge strikeout for Rothschadel. Now it brings hopefully the double play into effect and brings up Hudson Fuller, who has struck out swinging twice. On deck is shortstop Watson Grantham. I think I kept saying Palmer for the shortstop. I apologize. It's Watson Grantham. And Rothschadel comes set, comes home, and that pitch is out of the zone, 1-0. So again, Rothschadel has given up 10 hits and 1 walk here tonight. Tabor just 1 hit, but they have scored 2 runs. That ball is lifted high, but foul and out of play, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out with 2 on here in the top of the 5th. 4 runs across for the Clark Traders. Hudson Fuller at bat. Pitch from Rothschadel. Swung on and missed for strike 2. 1-2. Rothschadel looks back at second. Wines, delivers, comes home, swing and a miss for strike 3. So 2 consecutive strikeouts, hopefully helping settle things down for Rothschadel. That's 2 down now with runners on first and second. Brings up shortstop Watson Grantham, who's just had this swinging metronome of a night. Great fielding, slick fielding, some really great throws, and a couple of throws that have led to Tabor runs. Reached on a fielder's choice, grounded out to second. Oh, and the throw from Rothschadel back to second goes into the outfield. And here's the throw home. And boy, Tabor is just they are not their usual selves. And so that'll be a throwing error that leads to 1 run scoring and a runner now being at third. Makes it 6-2 on the second error of the game as a throwing error for Rothschadel. And 6-2 now. Runner on third with 2 down. As Grayson Flory comes around to score, and I'm sure some people would say, oh, you just want to focus on that third out in the batter's box. But I get it. You think you have somebody. There's a bunt attempt that fouls it off. Out of play, makes it 0-1. And you could see Riley's frustration when that throw went into the outfield. And then aggressive base running by Flory allowed him to score, as I don't think Tabor was expecting it. So here's the 0-1 pitch. That's laced over to second base, fielded by Schmidt. And that'll be the third out of the inning. But in the inning, Clark scores 5 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. 2 errors with 1 runner left on base. So at the end of 5, at the end of 4.5, it's Clark 6, Tabor 2. We'll be back with the bottom half of the 5th inning after these messages.
High Street Insurance and Financial in Crofton has what you need for all your insurance needs. Whether it's auto, home, farm, crop, commercial, life, or health, they have the right products and the right service you're looking for all your insurance needs. Call High Street Insurance in Crofton at 402-388-4772 or stop in at 1201 West 2nd Street in Crofton. A proud sponsor of this sports broadcast.
Greg Davis Excavation is the one to call when you're looking for reliable and dependable excavation and demolition work done the right way. From tree removal to full-scale demolition, Greg Davis Excavation has the experience and the equipment to handle it all. Curb, gutter work, sewer lines, drain tile, basement and garage floors, no problem. They have you covered with dependable and fast service you can trust. Residential or commercial, no job is too big. Greg Davis Excavation, a supporter of all Irene sports.
Since 1958, Tabor Lumber Co-op, located in Tabor and Lesterville, has been your trusted partner in agricultural service and supply. At our Tabor location, you will find the Cenex Fuel Island, open 24/7, accepting both credit and debit cards and offering Roadmaster premium diesel fuel and several options of blended ethanol gas. Inside the store, we've got you covered with hardware and paint supplies, plus top quality windows, doors, and siding. This is more than just a co-op. This is Tabor Lumber Co-op. Stop by today. We are here to help you grow.
Welcome back to Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming coverage of South Central League Baseball from the Class B Amateur Tournament at Cadwell Park in Mitchell. Leading off this inning for Tabor, trailing 6-2 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard will be Nolan Sarda, followed by Landon Schmidt and Riley Rothschadel. Landon Schmidt is who's on deck. Brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. It's now 1-1 on Nolan Sarda. Sarda with a sacrifice back in the third. And takes the ball to 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody on here in the bottom half of the fifth. Tabor trailing by 4. That ball is lifted into right field. And Junker gets underneath, and that is the first out of the inning. Tabor not able to get much going here. Their bats are failing them a little bit tonight so far. Just 2 runs on the 1 hit. They do have 2 errors on Clark that have aided the offense, but 1 down, and that brings up Landon Schmidt. On deck then is Riley Rothschadel. That pitch is lifted into right center field. Junker gets underneath. And 0-2. 2 down now here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. And that will bring up the top of the order and Riley Rothschadel. Left-handed hitting Rothschadel steps in. Left-handed hitter just trying to get something going for Tabor. They don't need to get it all back. They'd love to get a run or 2 here. That pitch misses outside, 1-0. That pitch is fouled off down the left field line, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, with 2 down here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Dylan Lair on deck with Hunter Halleck to follow if these 2 guys can get on board. That's high and outside, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch to Rothschadel does catch the outside corner. 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 out. That ball is grounded straight up the middle into center field. That will be a single for Riley Rothschadel. Second hit of the game for Tabor, and that brings up Dylan Lair. Lair, the pickup player from Menno. Batted .416 on the season. He is 0 for 2 with 2 hot shots to short. as the shortstop plays him a little bit over to second base. Now he's moving back over to third. Rothschadel with good speed over at first is able to get back in on the throw over there. Of course, Lair with that neon yellow and green uniform of the Mad Frogs. Here's the first pitch. That's in for a strike, 0-1. Of course, Lair can often be found during the day at Minnow State Bank. That pitch is lifted into center field, and that will be tracked out down there by Grayson Flory. And that will be the second out of the inning. So, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. At the end of 5 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard, it is Clark Traders 6, Tabor Bluebirds 2. We'll be back after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star Streaming on YouTube.
Byerly Insurance would like to welcome new customers offering no obligation quotes. They will gladly travel to you with their mobile insurance service, doing business in Yankton, Lesterville, Menno, and surrounding areas of the South Central League. Give Rita Byerly or Brody Byerly a call at 605-387-5999 or go to ByerlyINS.com. When it comes to insurance for autos, home, farm, liability, commercial, work comp, or bonds, Byerly Insurance covers the bases.
The Keg and Tabor is a great place to enjoy some food or a cold one. The grill is on at 11 a.m. Monday through Saturday. Order yourself some appetizers, steak tips, a burger, or some fries or tots. Order up a cold one to go with your meal. Lunch specials are served Monday through Friday. Looking for a place to host a party? Check out the beer garden at the Keg. On the way to the game, make sure you stop by the Keg and Tabor to pick up your cold beverages and munchies. Mike and Anita are proud sponsors of Tabor Bluebirds and all South Central League baseball teams.
TLC Propane of Yankton, Lesterville, and Tabor wants you to know that they're proud of their high level of customer service and that they are locally owned. Building a new home or business? Give Trevor a call today for quotes on tank sizes or with any of your propane questions. TLC Propane can refill or exchange your camper, grill, and fire pit propane bottles. TLC Propane Yankton is now located at 2208 Whiting Drive. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Welcome back to Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star Streaming coverage of South Central League Baseball as we enter the 6th inning. Riley Rothschadel still on the mound with Clark Traders leading the Tabor Bluebirds 6-2. Batting this inning for Clark, top of the order at Cooper Palmer, Zach Tobin, and Jacob Steen. First pitch in for a strike to Palmer. That ball's grounded right back in front of the plate. Slama fields it cleanly and does get it there in time to get Palmer. A beautiful play by Slama as that ball went about 10 feet in front of home plate. He and Rothschadel converged. That is a 2-3 put out. So that is the second time that Palmer has been retired. And that will bring up second baseman Zach Tobin, who has walked and singled twice. On deck is Jacob Steen. So Tobin steps in. First pitch is lifted foul down the right field line, 0-1. So again, if you're Tabor, you need to get through this inning and then try to get some runs in the bottom. Now, they've not had a ton of luck against Hudson Fuller, but they do hope that changes. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Tobin. That's lifted high down the right field line. Dylan Lair coming over, and he will not get it. That will be out of play, but that count will go to 0-2.
Well, fans, we have a good bingo. Sorry. It was kind of a half-hearted shout-out for bingo. $63 to Roger from Tabor.
So no balls, 2 strikes to Zach Tobin. Jacob Steen on deck. Who's on deck? Brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. That ball is outside, 1-2. So 1-2 pitch from Rothschadel to Tobin, lifted into deep left field. Nolan Sarda going back, and Nolan Sarda makes the catch deep in left field. So now that's 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 6th as Rocheda looking to try to get through this inning. And that will bring up Jacob Steen, singled in the 1st, singled in the 3rd, and reached on an error in the 5th. And that error just led to so much of that, of the 5th inning. And I just, you just wonder. That ball's lifted into deep left field. Nolan Sarda on his horse going back, and that's going to be trouble. That's going to reach the fence. Sarda tracks it down, and that will be a double for Jacob Steen. That brings up right fielder Merrick Junker. Junker is the pickup player from Millbank, and that is the 11th hit of the game for Clark. So running for Steen will be Hofer. No. Yeah, Peyton Hofer. All right, I was starting to doubt myself, but that brings up Merrick Junker, the right fielder who's made some nice plays out there. A sacrifice in the 1st, a sacrifice in the 3rd, and a single in the 5th. That ball's laced down the left field line, and that will fall in. Sarda catches up to it, but that will score a run on the double by Junker. It's now 7-2 on 12 hits for Clark. 7 runs on 12 hits with 2 errors for Clark. 2 runs on 2 hits with 2 errors for Tabor. That'll bring up center fielder Grayson Flory, who's 1 for 3, struck out in the 1st, popped up to the pitcher in the 3rd, and singled in the 5th. First pitch to Flory, in for a strike. In the on-deck circle for Clark, it is Andrew Magadans. That pitch just low, 1-1. As Tabor now trails by 5 here in the 6th inning. Clark still batting, but two outs. That pitch just outside of the zone, 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike. That ball's lifted into center field. Chase Corton glides over, makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. But in the inning, 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. After 5.5, it is Clark 7, Tabor 2. We'll be back with the bottom half of the 6th inning after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5 Star Streaming on YouTube.
At Sioux International of Freeman, South Dakota, they pride themselves on delivering equipment solutions to every sort of farming operation. The company continues to exude a tradition of excellent customer service and employ a large staff of knowledgeable technicians. Get the scoop on the latest deals and what's new, whether it's ag equipment, acreage equipment, lawn and garden, or equipment attachments. It's what they do at your Sioux International dealer in Freeman, South Dakota, a proud sponsor of this sports broadcast.
You'll find Merchant State Bank with locations in Freeman, Hurley, Viborg, and Irene. They offer big bank products with small-town service to meet your financial needs and promote economic growth and stability within the communities they call home. Go to msb-sd.com to browse their website. Merchant State Bank, your hometown banks since 1899. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to South Central League baseball coverage on Fox Sports Radio and 5 Star Streaming on YouTube from the Class B Amateur Baseball Tournament. Hudson Fuller for Clark enters his 6th inning of work. He's only given up 2 runs on 2 hits. 1 hit by a pitch, no walks. 1 walk that I've recorded. Batting this inning for Tabor will be Hunter Halleck, Chase Corton, and Josiah Peterson. Chase Corton is who's on deck. Brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding. Again, Tabor trails 7-2 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. Hunter from Hudson takes strike one. 0-1. So no balls, one strike. Fuller comes home. That's in for strike two. 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Hudson Fuller. That's laced into left field, but right at the left fielder. Fielded cleanly by Cooper Palmer. One up, one down. So good contact by Halleck, just hit to the wrong location. That brings up Chase Corton. Corton is grounded out to third and flown out to deep center. On deck is third baseman Josiah Peterson. Ball catches the outside corner, 0-1. And that is taken for ball one. 1-1 on Corton. One ball, one strike, one out, nobody on as Hudson Fuller comes set, works from the stretch, comes home. That is inside, 2-1. So Tabor they need to get somebody on. They need to get some runs going here as it gets later and later into this game. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. That's grounded foul down the third baseline. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Fuller, and that is low and outside. Full count. So full count, payoff pitch coming up to Chase Corton, and that is inside, ball 4, and Corton will be aboard. So a runner with good speed is aboard, brings up Josiah Peterson, who doubled back in the 4th and flew out to deep center in the 2nd. On deck is catcher Joey Slama. Again, for coverage of South Central League teams, that ball is grounded over to short, fielded by Grantham. Toss over to second is good. Relay throw does not get Peterson, so Peterson is aboard via fielder's choice, but Corton is out heading to second. That is the second out of the game. But for good coverage, always check yankton.net. Get yourself a digital subscription to the Yankton Press in Dakotan if you don't like the physical paper. And then for the good coverage of the entire tournament, go to 605 Sports. So those are your 2 great options to cover for coverage of this amateur baseball tournament. First pitch to Joey Slama, out of the zone, 1-0. Slama with good power, would love to get a hold of one here. That ball's in for a strike, 1-1. Slama ended the second with a hot shot down the third baseline, fielded beautifully there by Andrew Magadans. Otherwise, that probably would have scored a run. That ball's grounded right up the middle, and oh no, misplayed out there by Watson Grantham. So now Josiah Peterson is aboard, Slama aboard after the error on the shortstop. That's Grantham's 3rd error of the night. Puts runners at first and second with 2 down and brings up Matt Brown. So running for Tabor will be number 27, Landon Barish. So Landon Barish is courtesy running for Joey Slama. Matt Brown comes up. He was hit by a pitch back in the 3rd. That ball is lifted into deep center field. Gliding over to make the catch is the center fielder, Grayson Flory. So Tabor gets a couple of runners on, but unable to manufacture a run. No runs, no hits, one error, two left. At the end of 6, it's Clark 7, Tabor 2. We'll be back with the 7th inning after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube.
Parker Hannafin in Yankton has proudly produced filters in their communities for 40 years. With a mission to protect their customers' engines and equipment from first to last use, you know you can trust Parker Hannafin. They have superb product quality, an extensive distribution network, and the industry's broadest product line. All of this in 40 years of doing what they're good at. That's Parker Hannafin in Yankton. Check out their website to see their wide variety of products and how they can help you. Parker Hannafin in Yankton is a proud supporter of all South Central League athletes.
Minnow Beer Garden, where the game's always on, the drinks are cold, and the wings and pizzas are delicious. There's Chislic and burgers too. Gather your crew for a night of darts, pool, or casino fun. Or soak up the sun on the spacious outdoor area. Whether you're cheering on your favorite team or just looking for a laid-back hangout, Minnow Beer Garden is your destination. You won't go hungry or thirsty when you hang at the legendary beer garden in Minnow.
Larson Carpet has the best flooring for your space, lifestyle, and budget. Family owned and operated since 1972, Larson Carpet offers a huge variety of flooring options, both in stock and special order. When you want the job done right, come to Larson Carpet. Located at 208 Walnut Street in the Meridian District, Larson Carpet is your friendly, family-owned flooring specialist that is right for you.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming. We have had a Mama J's Bar and Cafe pitching change. Jace Topel now pitching for the Bluebirds. Riley Rothschadel has moved to short. Matt Brown has moved to third. Josiah Peterson from third to right. Dylan Lair from right to left. And Nolan Sarda is now out. First pitch of the game, of the inning to Andrew Magadans is ball 1. 1-0 from Jace Topel. Again, Topel now pitching after the Mama J's Bar and Cafe pitching change. That ball's popped up, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. That pitch in the dirt, 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Here to the leadoff batter, Brent Griffith is who's on deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. Magadans, Griffith, and Fuller due up for Clark. Topel working from the stretch. That ball's in the dirt, 3-1. So here's the 3-1 pitch from Topel. That is ball 4, and the leadoff batter is aboard. So Andrew Magadans is aboard after the walk by Topel. That brings up first baseman Brent Griffith, who singled in the second, flew out to right in the fourth, and struck out in the fifth. On deck, due up is pitcher Hudson Fuller. First pitch out of the zone at 1-0. So ball 1, 1-0. Seven-2 lead for Clark. One 1-0 pitch from Topel, working from the stretch. That is ball 2, 2-0. So 2 balls, no strikes. Again now Hunter Halleck at first, Landon Schmidt at second, Riley Rothschadel at short, Matt Brown at third, and from left to right in the outfield it's Dylan Lair, Chase Corton, and Josiah Peterson. So it's now quickly 3-0 after walking the first batter. Topel in danger of walking the second. Griffith, the left-handed hitting first baseman, 1 for 3 on the night. Here's the pitch from Topol. That's in for a strike, 3-1. Three-one pitch is out of the zone. Topol has walked the first 2 batters of the inning. That'll bring up pitcher Hudson Fuller. He has struck out swinging 3 times. That was all against Riley Rothschadel. We'll see if Topol can keep up the magic here. Here's a throw down to second, and not in time to get Andrew Magadans. 0-1. So Riley Rothschadel didn't have his normal crisp stuff tonight, and just a couple of fielding errors and other throwing errors as well. Just hurt Tabor's cause tonight. We'll see if they can make a comeback here in the final 3 innings. But with runners on first and second and nobody out, count is 0-2 on pitcher Hudson Fuller. Topol comes and swing and a miss for strike 3. That is Fuller's 4th strikeout of the night. That'll bring up shortstop Watson Grantham. Who's had a bit of a pendulum swing of an evening. Again, some great fielding, a couple of throwing errors. Then he did have a fielding error. He is 0 for 3. He reached on a fielder's choice and is grounded out to second twice. So again, if you're on the stream, if you're tuned in, if you'd like to give us a thumbs up, try to get us into double digits. That'd be awesome. Hey, there we are. We're in double digits. That's so cool. First pitch from Topol to Grantham is a ball, 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes. Again, 7-2. 2 runners on, 1 down. That ball's out of the zone, 2-0. So Topol has walked 2, struck out 1. That pitch also out of the zone, 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes to Watson Grantham with Cooper Palmer on deck. Who's on deck? Brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. And that is another walk, a 3rd walk to load the bases for Jace Topol. That'll bring up Cooper Palmer. Palmer singled in the first, grounded out to second in the second, doubled in the 5th, and grounded out to the pitcher, or the catcher, in the 6th. First pitch is a ball, 1-0 to Cooper Palmer. One-0 pitch is fouled straight back, 1-1. So again, I've enjoyed bringing you South Central League baseball all season long. Hope you've enjoyed it as well. Hope I get to bring it to you as well on Friday night. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Topol to Palmer. That is 2-1. So that is out of the zone. This is the second straight inning that Palmer will be getting in at a 3rd straight inning that Palmer is getting in at bat. That pitch is grounded right back to Landon Schmidt at second, who is unable to make the play. And that'll be a fielding error that leads to a run, making it 8-2 in favor of Clark. So a fielding error on the second baseman allows Palmer to get to first. Magadans scores. Brent Griffith at third. And Watson Grantham at second. It's now 8-2 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. That brings up Zach Tobin, who has walked in the first, singled in the third, singled in the fifth, and flew out to deep left field in the sixth. That ball is high, 1-0. If you have somebody you'd like me to shout out, type it into the stream, and I will definitely do that. 1-0 count to Tobin with Jacob Steen on deck. Here's the pitch from Topol. It is ball 2, 2-0. That ball is lifted into right field. Josiah Peterson going back. He'll make the catch. A runner will tag. And so runners are going to be at second and third now as both runners advance on the throw. So that is the second out of the game of the inning. Makes it 9-2. So 9-2, and that brings up Jacob Steen after the sacrifice by Tobin. So first pitch to Steen, in for a strike. That pitch is high. 1-1. Here's the pitch. That's laced over to short. Fielded. Oh! Riley Rothschadel stumbles just a little bit. Another error. The fourth error of the game for Tabor. So runners at first and third, and that makes it 10-2 in favor of Clark. So Peyton Hofer now running for Jacob Steen. So runners at first and third. Brings up Merrick Junker. Junker grounds that down the third baseline. 0-1. Ball's fouled off. 0-2. So here's the 0-2 pitch with 2 down and 2 on. Pitch from Topol. That's laced on the third baseline, but foul. So the South Central League last had a team in the championship prior to the 2023 Lesterville team. Crofton was in the championship in 2012. In 2011, Crofton won the championship, defeating Tabor, as both teams were from the South Central League. And then in 2010, Alexandria and Dimmick Emery, I know Why Not was in there somewhere. Might have been 2014, as that is the final out of the inning. Oh, Why Not? Yes, I was looking at A there. Why Not defeated Alexandria in 2014, 8-2 to win the championship. So that's kind of the recent history, most recent history of South Central League in the tournament. So that is the final out of that inning. Now heading to the bottom of the 7th with Tabor trailing 10-2 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. We'll be back with more after these messages.
Rural Manufacturing Company of Freeman, South Dakota has a large inventory of steel for buildings and fabrication needs. They stock square and rectangular tube, pipe, angles, channels, and rounds. Rural Manufacturing also stocks shapes in stainless steel. Their sheet metal stock consists of hot-rolled steel, stainless steel, and galvanized steel. Concrete rebar is also in stock in sizes 3/8 to 3/4 in 20-foot lengths. Call Rural Manufacturing in Freeman for pricing or info on fabrication services available. Want your party to be a hoot? Then have it at Hoots Bar in Freeman, where they are always looking for a great group to party with. The staff at Hoots says stop in and try the selection of beers on tap or use the easy drive-up window for off sale. But the Hoots team would rather see you join them inside. Hoots Bar in Freeman offers darts, lottery, and golf. You can also relax with your cocktail in the outdoor beer garden. Hungry? Order up a delicious Hoots Bar Pizza. Fun, friendly, helpful staff is waiting for you at Hoots Bar in Freeman. See you at Hoots.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube. Hudson Fuller gets his final warm-up pitch out there. And yes, regarding the chat in there, yes, Why Not won it in 2014, defeating Alexandria 8-2. In 2013, did not have a South Central League team. That brings up Landon Barish leading off this inning for Tabor. Then Parkston won it in 2012 over Crofton. Crofton won it in 2011 over Tabor. And in 2000... just trying to look back as much as I can, but I'll call the game here. 2-0 on Landon Barish as Hudson Fuller... is working his 7th inning of work. That pitch is lifted into left field. And that is foul, but that is an out. As Cooper Palmer able to glide over and make the catch for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Landon Schmidt, as that was Landon Barish batting for Nolan Sarda. Landon Schmidt is up. Riley Rothschadel is who's on deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. First pitch is a strike, 0-1. That pitch is low, 1-1. That ball is laced up the middle, and that will be a single for Landon Schmidt. Third hit of the game for Tabor. Puts a runner on first with one down and brings up Riley Rothschadel.
For Tabor in the top of the order, and shortstop Riley Rothschadel.
Rothschadel 1 for 3 today. That pitch is out of the zone, 1-0. So 2 balls, no strikes to Rothschadel. That pitch is low, 3-0. And I don't know that there's a website where the past champions can be found. There is an archives and history spot on the South Dakota Amateur Baseball Association website, but it's a blank page, unfortunately. And that is ball 4 to Riley Rothschadel. So now 2 runners aboard. That'll bring up left fielder Dylan Lair. On deck is Hunter Halleck. Lair 0 for 3, 2 hot shots as Hudson Fuller They're going to take a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well as there's a meeting on the mound. This brought to you by Mama J's Bar and Cafe in Irene.
Jones Feed and Grain Trucking in Wynot, Nebraska is looking for you if you have a CDL. This is a full-time opening for a semi-truck driver to run tanker trailer, hauling liquid feed and fertilizer. Also a hopper trailer hauling feed and grain. This position is within the regional area and home most evenings. A part-time position is also available running quad-axle straight truck, hauling liquid feed within the region and home every evening. Interested? Call Jones Feed and Grain Trucking, 402-357-2633.
We're back, and no pitching change made. Hudson Fuller's still hanging out there. And I think the team's probably just saying, hey, pitch to contact, whatever you need to do. So Dylan Lair steps up. One down here in the bottom half of the seventh inning. Tabor trailing on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard by a score of 10-2. Pitch from Hudson Fuller is bunted by Dylan Lair down the third baseline, and that'll be a single. Oh, no, they're going to say they got him. Wow, that's a shocker. So, now runners at second and third. That'll be a sacrifice, but now 2 down. But, wow, I thought Lair was going to get himself a single out of that one. That brings up Hunter Halleck. Halleck grounded out to short twice and flew out to left field. Swing and a miss by Halleck, 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Fuller. That's grounded down the first base line, foul. Now 0-2. So that ball gets away just a little bit from the catcher, but not far enough to do anything. 1-2 now on Halleck. With Chase Corton on deck, Halleck grounded out to short, and flew out in the sixth. 1-2 pitch. Just off the plate, 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Fuller to Halleck. And that does get away from the catcher, and Landon Schmidt will score. Riley Rothschild will move down to third. It's now 10-3 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard, and that makes it a full count on Halleck. So Hudson Fuller kind of hitting a wall here. That is ball 4, so now runners at first and third, and that will bring up center fielder Chase Corton. Now put Josiah Peterson on deck, so Corton steps in, walked back in the sixth, grounded out to short to lead off the second, and flew out to deep center in the fourth. First pitch to Corton inside, 1-0. So Fuller starting to scuffle just a little bit. They do have a 7-run lead, but you hate to give too many away here. The game last night with the Twins, showed how dangerously close it can get. Here's a 2-0 pitch now to Corton. That ball's grounded down the third baseline, fielded cleanly. There's a throw over to first, and that will be the third out of the inning. In the inning, Tabor scores 1 run on 1 hit. No errors. 2 runners left on base. At the end of 7, it is Clark 10, Tabor 3. We'll be back with the 8th inning after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5 Star Streaming on YouTube.
rewarding you for doing everyday things, like buying gas, shopping, and dining local. Does your bank do that? If you're a Core Trust customer, your bank does that. When you open a premium or preferred checking account and meet requirements, you get access to Core Trust perks powered by Bazing, an exclusive network offering 300,000 plus deals and discounts on dining, shopping, travel, fuel, and more. Visit us online, in person, or by phone. Terms and conditions apply. Member FDIC.
At Renewable Ag Products, their business is based on customer relationships and customer service. They coordinate distiller supplies to provide area livestock producers with their commodity needs by working closely with multiple ethanol and processing plants within their region. Their office trades a core group of feed ingredients that include modified distillers, wet distillers, dry distillers, grain, corn syrup, soybean meal, soy hull pellets, corn gluten feed, and corn screening. Call Renewable Ag Products and talk with Henry or Frank. They do their best to make your purchasing decisions easy.
Give Why Not Oil a call for your fuel, tire, and oil needs. They deliver treated farm and road diesel along with unleaded and super unleaded gasoline to bulk tanks. They offer gravity flow bulk oil, DEF systems, and can assist you with all your tire needs from small lawn tires to large ag tires. Why Not Oil Company offers hydraulic hose repairs, automotive service, and more. Stop in for fuel at the pump or a cold drink from the small convenience store. Why Not Oil Company? Why Not, Nebraska?
From the Fox Sports Radio studio, I'm Michael Schumacher. We enter the 8th inning with Tabor trailing 10-3 to Clark. Batting this inning for Clark will be Grayson Flory, Andrew Magadans, and Brent Griffith. Andrew Magadans is Who's on Deck, brought to you by Chris Haygrinding. Facing Jace Topel, and that ball is lifted into left center field. Dylan Lair gliding over. He'll catch that for the first out of the inning. That brings up third baseman Andrew Magadans with first baseman Brent Griffith on deck. Magadans has flown out to first, flown out to short, singled, and walked so far tonight. Topel on the mound in his second inning of work after the Mama J's Barn Cafe pitching change. That ball's grounded cleanly over to Matt Brown. Throw over to first for the second out of the inning. So quickly 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 8th. Brings up first baseman Brent Griffith, who singled in the second, flew out to right field in the fourth, struck out in the fifth, and walked in the seventh. First pitch from Topel is laced over to second base, fielded cleanly by Schmidt. That's a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. After 7.5, it is Clark 10, Tabor 3. We'll be back with the bottom half of the 8th inning after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube.
If your car can't get you all the way home or just needs regular maintenance, call Downtown Auto Service in Crofton with a commitment to providing you with honest quality service with reasonable prices. With the technology and expertise Downtown Auto Service in Crofton provides, your car will have the best care imaginable. When it comes to your vehicle, you want the best, and Downtown Auto Service in Crofton is not only the best downtown, it's the best all around. That's Downtown Auto Service in Crofton.
Midwest Insurance Agency values family. Our agency has been family run for over 60 years. We pride ourselves on excellent, knowledgeable customer service. This day and age, everyone is so eager to have an immediate response with a quote. But at Midwest Insurance, we take our time and evaluate your assets and make sure you are properly insured. We take those what-ifs very seriously. As we continue on our family business with hopes of our children, Brooke or Jet, taking over in the future, we will continue to be there for you always. Come be a part of our family. Midwest Insurance Agency, 3016 Piper Street, Yankton.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube. As Hudson Fuller finishes his warm-up pitches here as we get ready for the bottom of the 8th with Tabor trailing 10-3. On the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard, leading off for Tabor will be Josiah Peterson. He'll be followed by Joey Slama and Matt Brown. Josiah Peterson is Who's on Deck, brought to you by Chris Haygrinding in Tyndall.
Millbank is $69 richer in 50-50.
So Peterson steps up. He flew out to center, doubled, and reached on a fielder's choice tonight. Here's the first pitch to Josiah Peterson. That ball's laced into left field, and that will reach the fence. And that is over the fence. That'll be a ground rule double for Josiah Peterson. So that's the fourth hit of the game for Tabor. Brings up catcher Joey Slama. Slama lined out to third in the second, reached on an error in the fourth, and reached on an error in the sixth. Both errors were on the shortstop. On deck is Matt Brown. That pitch is in for a strike, 0-1. Swing and a miss. Strike two, 0-2.
I'm the captain. When Jody's not here, I'm the captain. Yeah.
And there's a swing and a miss for strike three. That's the first out of the inning. So that brings up Matt Brown with one down. That ball's popped up. And Brent Griffith coming over, can't find it, and is able to recover and make the catch. And so Peterson will stay at second. So now, quickly two down for Tabor here in the bottom of the eighth. And that'll bring up Landon Barish. On deck is Landon Schmidt.
Correction, the pitcher, number 26, Jace Topel.
So Jace Topel steps up. Pitches out of the zone, 1-0. That's in there for a strike, 1-1. So one ball, one strike, one on, two down. That pitch is in for a strike, 1-2. So one ball, two strikes, one on, two down here in the bottom half of the eighth with Tabor trailing by a score of 10-3. 10 runs on 12 hits with 3 errors for Clark, 3 runs on 4 hits with 4 errors for Tabor. That ball's grounded right up the middle. Grantham fields it cleanly, throws over to first for the third out of the inning. In the inning for Tabor, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. After 8, it is Clark 10, Tabor 3. We'll be back with the 9th inning after these messages. Again, 10-3 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard.
Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust understands what it takes to be a part of the community. It's not just about transactions, it's about relationships. Whether you're buying your first home, growing your business, or planning for the future, their team is here to help every step of the way. Elkhorn Valley Bank uses local decision-making, personalized service, and modern banking tools like online banking and a teller on demand to make managing money simple and convenient. Helping you reach your financial goals, Elkhorn Valley Bank, member FDIC.
There's something new waiting for you at the Crofton Lakeview Golf Course. Come experience a brand new clubhouse where great rounds meet great company. Enjoy the stunning new view while relaxing with friends on the covered patio. Whether you're finishing 9 holes or just stopping by, Lakeview's new clubhouse is a perfect place to unwind. Lakeview Golf Course, come for the game, stay for the experience. Make every visit unforgettable at the new Lakeview Clubhouse. Experience a summer of golf while overlooking the views of the Lewis and Clark Lake. See you there.
Joe Substation in Lesterville says go Bronx. And so should you. Go to Joe Substation when you are hungry. They serve that amazing Alaskan pollock and delicious roasted chicken. Lunch specials are served Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 1. And on Wednesday, it's the all-you-can-eat roasted chicken and fish buffet served from 5 to 8 p.m. Weekends, the kitchen is open from 5 p. to 9. So when you're out and about, hungry and need some nourishment or a cold beverage, Joe's Substation is the place. 4 miles south of Lesterville. Go Bronx.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball at the South Dakota Amateur Baseball Tournament. I'm Michael Schumacher on Fox Sports Radio and 5 Star streaming on YouTube. As we enter the 9th inning, leading off for Clark will be pitcher Hudson Fuller, and followed by Watson Grantham and Cooper Palmer. Watson Grantham is Who's on Deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. Jay Stopel enters his 3rd inning of relief after the Mama Jay's Bar and Cafe pitching change. First pitch, ball 1, 1-0. Pitch is high, 2-0. Hudson Griffith has struck out swinging 4 times tonight. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's in for a strike, 2-1. And Topol winds, delivers. That's high, 3-1. So 3 balls, 1 strike to Hudson Fuller. And here's the pitch. That's high and inside, ball 4. So Fuller had struck out 4 times tonight. He walks here in the 9th. That'll bring up Watson Grantham. Grantham is 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored back in the 7th. On deck is the top of the order and left fielder Cooper Palmer. Swing and a miss, strike 1, 0-1. So here's the 0-1 pitch to Grantham. Swing and a miss, strike 2, 0-2. So here's the 0-2 pitch now from Topol to Grantham. That's laced into left center field. Dylan Lair coming over, and he'll make the catch. And Hudson Fuller will retreat. No courtesy runner at first for Clark. And that is in the form of Zach Winter. Zach Winter running for Hudson Fuller at first. So now 1 down here in the top of the 9th. Brings up the top of the order, and left fielder Cooper Palmer. Palmer is 2 for 3 tonight, reached with a single and a double, also reached on an error. That's out of the zone, 1-0. One-0 pitch from Topol. Catches the corner, 1-1. And that ball's out of the zone. Now 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 down, 1 on here in the top of the 9th with Tabor trailing 10-3 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. Again, I want to thank our sponsors, our pregame sponsor, Hanson Briggs, our scoreboard sponsor, Grassland Heating and Cooling, our national anthem sponsor, Joe Labarge and America's Best Realty in honor of the South Dakota Special Olympics. That pitch is in for a strike, 2-2. Of course, all those names you see scrolling across the top there, we appreciate all of them. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That ball is high, full count on Cooper Palmer with Zach Tobin on deck. Here's the payoff pitch from Topel to Palmer. Fouled back, count remains 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 on, 1 down here in the top of the 9th. Topel comes set. Here's the pitch. That ball is lifted into left field. Dylan Lair coming in, gliding over, and that'll be foul. Count remains 3-2. Ball's lifted into shallow left field. Lair comes in, gets underneath for the second out of the inning. So now 2 down with a runner on first. Brings up second baseman Zach Tobin. Tobin walked in the first, singled in the third, singled in the fifth, flew out to left field in the sixth, and sacrificed in the seventh. Tobin gets some instructions from the third base coach as Topel awaits on the mound. With Winter at first as a courtesy runner for Hudson Fuller. And he takes off, and that'll be a stolen base. So that first pitch is a ball, 1-0. So Topel comes set. That is inside, 2-0. So 2 balls, no strikes. That's 3-0. So 3 balls, no strikes to Zach Tobin, 2 down, runner on second. That is ball 4, puts runners on first and second now. Brings up Jacob Steen. Steen, 3 for 5 tonight. He has reached all 5 times, reached twice on errors. Ball's lifted high into center field. Corton catches it for the third out of the inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors with 2 left. At the end of 8.5, it is Clark 10, Tabor 3. We'll be back with the bottom half of the ninth after these messages on Fox Sports Radio.
At Central Farmers Cooperative, they know your operation depends on more than just hard work. It depends on the right partner. From agronomy solutions that boost your yields to reliable seed varieties and the chemicals that help protect every acre. Central Farmers Cooperative is there to support you every step of the way. Local people, local expertise, real results. Central Farmers Cooperative cheering on the surrounding areas in all aspects. Central Farmers Cooperative, growing strong together.
Friendly place to have a drink with friends and family. Darts, pool, big screen TV, nice, friendly, hospitable staff, great decor for family and community gatherings. How about 5 stars? Tremendous place for local people to meet. These are just a few of the comments about the Corner Nugget in Lesterville. Have you been there yet? If not, sounds like you should head to the Corner Nugget in Lesterville. Music, cold beverages, and your favorite drink mixed just right. The Corner Nugget is a proud sponsor of the Lesterville Bronx. Stop in and catch a game on the big screen.
At Menno State Bank, our team is dedicated to the traditions of service. We offer a wide array of products to accommodate all your financial needs, including checking and savings accounts, CDs, loans, IRAs, debit cards, credit cards, a 24-hour ATM, and online banking. Be sure to inquire about our competitive rates. Menno State Bank, member FDIC, proud to serve the Menno community and surrounding areas.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball at the South Dakota Amateur Class B Tournament. Entering the ninth inning, it will be Landon Schmidt, Riley Rothschadel, and Dylan Lair. Tabor needs 7 runs to keep their season going. They're facing off with Hudson Fuller, who has gone the distance for Clark. Pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1. Just off the outside corner, 1-1. Ball 2, 2-1. And that hits Schmidt. Batter is aboard. Brings up Riley Rothschadel. Riley Rothschadel is who's on deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding. First pitch in for a strike, 0-1. It's in for a strike, 0-2. On deck is Dylan Lair. Hudson Fuller comes set, works from the stretch. That is lifted high, foul, count remains 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Rothschadel from Fuller. That's grounded right up the middle, and that'll be a single into center field. That'll put runners on first and second. 5th hit of the game for the Bluebirds. And that will bring up right fielder Dylan Lair. Dylan is 0 for 3 tonight. He'd love to get a hit here. course, Tabor needs to string a bunch of them together, 7 runs. But Clark did score 5 runs in the top of the 5th, so bunches of runs are not out of the ordinary. Here's the pitch to Lair. That's high, 1-0. Hudson Fuller comes home. That hits Lair. Bases are now loaded. So bases loaded, nobody out, and they're going to come in to talk to Fuller. We'll take a timeout. Mound Visit brought to you by Mama J's Bar and Cafe.
High Street Insurance and Financial in Crofton has what you need for all your insurance needs. Whether it's auto, home, farm, crop, commercial, life, or health, they have the right products and the right service you're looking for all your insurance needs. Call High Street Insurance in Crofton at 402-388-4772 or stop in at 1201 West 2nd Street in Crofton. A proud sponsor of this sports broadcast.
Greg Davis Excavation is the one to call when you're looking for reliable and dependable excavation and demolition work done the right way. From tree removal to full-scale demolition, Greg Davis Excavation has the experience and the equipment to handle it all. Curb, gutter work, sewer lines, drain tile, basement and garage floors, no problem. They have you covered with dependable and fast service you can trust. Residential or commercial, no job is too big. Greg Davis Excavation, a supporter of all Irene sports.
Since 1958, Tabor Lumber Co-op, located in Tabor and Lesterville, has been your trusted partner in agricultural service and supply. At our Tabor location, you will find the Cenex Fuel Island, open 24/7, accepting both credit and debit cards and offering Roadmaster premium diesel fuel and several options of blended ethanol gas. Inside the store, we've got you covered with hardware and paint supplies, plus top quality windows, doors, and siding. This is more than just a co-op. This is Tabor Lumber Co-op. Stop by today. We are here to help you grow.
Byerly Insurance would like to welcome new customers offering no obligation quotes. They will gladly travel to you with their mobile insurance service, doing business in Yankton, Lesterville, Menno, and surrounding areas of the South Central League. Give Rita Byerly or Brody Byerly a call at 605-387-5999 or go to ByerlyINS.com. When it comes to insurance for autos, home, farm, liability, commercial, work comp, or bonds, Byerly Insurance covers the bases.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball. Bases loaded. Nobody out. Hunter Halleck at bat. A new pitcher, Watson Grantham, has come in to pitch from short. Cooper Palmer comes from left field to play short. Merrick Junker moves from right to left. And Peyton Hofer, who had been the multi-time courtesy runner, comes in to play right field. So runners on every base, nobody out for Halleck, who's looking for his first hit of the night. Or another walk, he'd go with that as well. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Halleck. That is in there for strike 2, 0-2. That ball's fouled off. Count remains 0-2. So here's the 0-2 pitch from Grantham to Halleck. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So that's the first out of the inning. Bases stay loaded, but now one down. And that'll bring up Chase Corton. Corton walked in the 6th, otherwise 0 for 3. And I want to thank everybody for joining us. In case this is the end of the road, I just want to say thank you for being here with us all season long, even if you weren't here all season long. Appreciate the support. That pitch is inside, 1-0. Kendall Jonke, one of those that has been here a number of times, at least here in the postseason, but I know during the regular season as well. That ball's fouled off. Count moves to 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 on. Bases loaded for Grantham. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So that is the second out of the inning. Tabor down to their final out. And that is in the form of third baseman, or right fielder now, Josiah Peterson. Hey, thank you, Coffee. Do love hearing that. So appreciate you guys joining us, and we'll be doing some more streaming of area games. That ball is lifted high into deep center field, but the center fielder camps underneath, and that will be the third out of the inning, and that will do it. As Clark defeats Tabor by a score of 10-3. Tabor with 3 runs on 5 hits with 4 errors. And I do try to get my interviews on At the Mic on YouTube. Yes, I do appreciate that. I'm getting a little bit behind just because I've had so much stuff going on, but I do try to get those interviews up on YouTube within a week. I'm trying to get better about it, but they want me to sell, and I've got to be out there selling. I've got some other stuff I do and announce. But yes, At the Mic on YouTube, At the Mic with Michael Schumacher. So many of my interviews get there. I'm trying to keep up with them and then working back. So I do appreciate the question. And again, tomorrow morning on At the Mic, we will have an interview with Josiah Peterson. We will have Brian Gunther, all-timer from Crofton. We'll have Marcus Destin, one of the organizers of the Club Red meeting. That's at 12:30 at CC's tomorrow, with Coach Matt Vitzthum of the USD Coyotes and Louis Budmeyer of the Vermilion Tanagers, as well as Elena Mathieson, the head coach for Viborg Hurley volleyball. And then on Wednesday, if everything works out right, I will have South Dakota High School Basketball Hall of Famer and South Dakota Sports Hall of Famer Becky Flynn Jensen. So I want to thank everybody for joining us. Again, Tabor loses 10-3, 3 runs on 5 hits with 4 errors. Clark with 10 runs on 12 hits with 3 errors. Well, you guys have a beautiful night. Again, a big thank you to all of our sponsors, including Downtown Auto Service, Midwest Insurance, Elkhorn Valley Bank, Lakeview Golf Course, Joe's Substation, Central Farmers Cooperative, Corner Nugget, Menno State Bank, High Street Insurance, Greg Davis Excavation, Tabor Lumber Co-op, Byerly Insurance, The Keg, TLC Propane, Sioux International, Merchant State Bank, Parker Hannafin, The Beer Garden in Menno, Larson Carpet, Rural Manufacturing, Hoots Bar in Freeman, Jones Feed and Grain Trucking, Core Trust Bank, Renewable Ag Products, and Why Not Oil. Hey, Kendall, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm kind of a hack sometimes. I'm trying to get better all the time, so I appreciate your support. I appreciate the kind words, and I want to thank you all so much for joining us this offseason. I'm going to say the only silver lining is I get to spend Friday night with my daughter, who is coming in from North Carolina. So that is the only upside to Tabor losing tonight. Otherwise, I was hoping to be back here broadcasting. Well, until next year for South Central League, I hope you guys have a great night, but feel free to join me on At the Mic or on any of the Vermilion Tanager broadcasts. We'll also be doing some area games this year as well. So much love to y'all. As Grandma Leela always said, Grandma love you. Grandma do. You guys have a beautiful night. From Cadwell Park, one final time, I'm Michael Schumacher. You guys have a great evening.